Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final match of the evening. It's the Alienware Cup, made possible by Alienware and MasterCard, as well as DPM Interactive, our organizer. You're watching the Beyond the Summit broadcast of our final match of the winner bracket finals. It's going to be Navi versus LGD China. Game 3, winner guaranteed, top 2 finish in the tournament. Lumi, Merlini, take it away.
Fingers are so crossed right now for this perfect world server.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why it messes up.
I just
Darn Chinese people.
Darn.
We're
Chinese, right?
What?
We're Chinese, right?
I guess so. That's up for the stream to decide.
Okay.
LGD. First ban Wisp. I think is a very smart thing to do. If they don't, they just get rolled, just like Game 1 and every other Eastern team that doesn't ban Wisp versus a top-tier Western team. So I think they're going to stick to maybe a similar draft, at least to the start of Game 2. There's no reason to switch unless you have a plethora of strategies. I don't think LGD necessarily does, but they may surprise us with the lycanthrope pick. But first pick last game was Visage. No reason to shy away from it again. They did win the coin flip and have first pick this game.
Yeah, I think both you and I agreed on Darkseer perhaps being a better and more versatile hero.
Oh,
in fact,
Dragon Knight.
it's going to be Chen and Dragon Knight.
Stolen.
I pray to whichever deity you believe in, or if you're atheist or agnostic, then your rock, your pet rock, that Dendi does not play our DK here. Because, goddamn.
Unless your rares are an LGD.
Unless your rares are an LGD, then go ahead and tell your pet rock, then please, Dendi, play that DK.
So what does LGD do now? Navi has thrown a wrench into their strats. They wanted to go with almost exactly same draft as Game 2, I believe, which is Visage first pick. They let the Darkseer and the Chen slip through, and are they going to pick up the Darkseer counter? I mean, Darkseer is just a very stable pick. You can't go wrong with a guy. Unless you have some sort of like really good strategy that you want to do. For example, split pushing with Nature's Prophet, a ganking strat with Bounty Hunter, some other cool strats, but he's just a safe pick overall. He has good team fight, good AoE, he's decent in lane, he can jungle if he gets shut out, he's difficult to kill, he has good defensive capabilities, good stat growth, he's a natural mech carrier. The list goes on and on. Darkseer, pick him, please.
One thing that we noticed in the Darkseer versus Dragon Knight matchup is that Darkseer has to run to the front to drop his vacuum and wall combo, and Dragon Knight is always in the front. And because of the range, because of the instant cast animation of Dragon Tail, he will hit you first.
Yeah, even if you get a 4-step like Funnick Rush last game,
right.
he was still unable to
He will still hit
pull
you
it off.
first. So I feel like Dragon Knight has an inherent matchup advantage versus Darkseer. And if Darkseer is your first initiator, he's going to have trouble. So with that said, I think Darkseer is still a worthy pickup.
Yeah, I think it's more of a deny pick rather than an actual pick, just because we have seen Dendi's Dragon Knight before, and let's just say it was not the best Dragon Knight I've seen. Not by a long shot.
Again, he's not a bad melee mid player. It's just he's owned so much harder on any other hero that
the team plays around Dendi doing a very specific thing, right?
Yeah.
They already played around Havos super farming it up, and Dragon Knight, he doesn't need a lane, but Dendi likes to run around, do stuff, kill stuff, make a lot of pressure on the map, and try and take the game that way. But
Dendi likes to do stuff and kill stuff.
I know.
Merlini 2013.
Well, Havos likes to. What does Havos like to do? If you had to sum it up in elementary terms, such as I did.
I want to say that Havos has perfect farm, and then he feeds.
LGD's turn.
He's actually a really good farmer.
He's pretty good.
Like,
farmer.
he doesn't miss last hits. But all right, how scary is this particular push coming out from Navi? Because Chen and Dragon
They have
Knight,
Gyro, man. Gyro would just smash his pushes.
if you don't get stunned,
yeah,
and then chain stunned by centaurs, so because your flat cannon is okay, but you don't have the range unless you flag off something else. And again, Dragon Knight is always going to stay on the front line. I don't think you want to underestimate Dragon Knight being second picked up. I think the hero is fine. I don't share the Bruno hate here. But
I share it.
You share it? All right,
yeah.
Fair enough. Darkseer is going to get banned out by LG Gaming. Nyx Assassin being banned out on Navi. I really like the Nyx Assassin ban because one of the ways to actually deal with Dragon Knight in the front line is you constantly mono burn him, walk in and out, mono burn him. And if your Nyx Assassin gets stunned, all right, your Nyx Assassin got stunned. The cooldown's going to fly in. And so I feel like this is actually a fairly smart ban coming out from Navi.
The thing about the Dragon Knight ban is you just have to punish it. You can just punish it with almost any solo mid that's not Beastmaster or Magnus. Or Panda, for that matter.
Panda actually
Panda does decently, but again, just pick a very run-of-the-mill Queen of Pain, Puck, Storm, and if they're left unchecked, the Dragon Knight would just get dominated. Sure, you'll have his BKB, but he might have a sheep or something by the time that the dude has BKB. So LGD will actually ban out the Darkseer, which we saw Funnick play last game, and the Nature's Prophet, which they actually took took last game. So I'm actually a little bit confused as to the Nature's Prophet ban, just because I think they could use an offlaner. Maybe they're just scared of the split push on Navi, or just a push in general with a Chen and Dragonite. I guess that's a very...
I think Sprout is a fairly weak spell against Dragonite. It just doesn't actually do a single thing because he's ranged. He's still gonna stun.
Force upon his ultimate, man.
Okay, I guess that's something. But I think Navi right now is considering a ban. What's the hero I had in mind? Well, now I'm completely lost because. Back to you.
Yeah, I think that it's just safer for each team to have a wide variety of lineup, like your core, or I don't really like the term core. I just like the first two picks being very flexible. For example, Visage does very well in triple lanes. He has Disable, he has Slow, he has a lot of kill potential. He doesn't have that great roam potential, but that's one of the very few downfalls about him. Gyrocopter, good early game, a lot of AoE, decent split push, call down is ridiculous, natural BKB hero, scales very well with farm, and you can put him in very many situations. You can have him solo, you can have him part of a triple lane, you can have him solo safe lane or mid lane. I suppose I didn't actually touch on that before, but again, these are like very flexible picks for and a Weaver pick from Navi.
Yeah, Navi pulling a playbook out of Tong Fu because they pick double DK and Weaver and they run it both as a carry role.
That's not bad.
Yeah, okay. So I wanted to point out something. If you remember the first game of the previous series, the one between IG and DK, the thing that actually made Visage completely irrelevant was the fact that IG was playing with 2 roaming supports as well. So seeing Visage as a first pick and seeing Puppy immediately pick Chen makes me think that if they get another roaming support, they can get into the same position. Get DK, get Weaver, and get another carry that can actually solo a lane, rotate, and then suddenly the tri-lane with Visage becomes much more irrelevant.
I mean, that's exactly what we saw from LGD Gaming last game, though.
Yeah.
Like, Visage wasn't actually laning against anything. He was just pulling with Nyx Assassin all game. He was basically relegated to getting like level 5 with pulls, and then he just comes out in teamfight and start owning.
Right.
So I don't expect Visage to have an early game dominance this game either, because it's the same. Here we go, double roam support Chen and Lina.
And that's a really good combo as well.
So Chen, I think Visage is gonna again pull with Rubik, and then go back and maybe own the mid game. Now whether he's gonna have actual impact in this game, because no matter how good Soul Assumption is, you still have things like time lapse. You have Chen ultimate. You have the raw HP of DK. So I don't think his particularly effectiveness is gonna be as high as the previous game, but I still think he's going to be a very good hero.
How much do you commit if you're Navi to blocking that pull? Just do you go out as 5 to their jungle?
Yes,
because the way it looks
DK.
right now is if you can manage to disrupt that pull at least for the first 1-2 minutes of the game, it seems that you have a clear advantage.
Yeah, I think you could definitely at least put one particular observer ward, or maybe we see teams now put one observer, one sentry, and force really the Radiant team or the Dire team now to defend. I'm not sure whether they would actually do that, because it seems like Navi generally wants to do their own thing early on. Now we see the Magnus being picked up, which is I'm somewhat surprised about this particular pick. Merlini, any thoughts on here?
I mean, it synergizes like okay with Gyrocopter and Power Plus Flag, whoop-de-doo, but no cleave. A lot of people harp on or praise the strengths of Empower. It is pretty good. I guess we have to see what their last pick is, but there's no druid, no lone druid in the pool. That's pretty much the best offlaner that you can synergize with Magnus, and I guess he's decent for
He's
the
just a shockwave, right,
team
for
fight
the team?
control. Yeah, I mean, they can have the blink RP. Magnus used to be the big hottest thing in Dota.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't take away from the strength of RP and his strength as a mid lane solo. I guess he'll have a pretty decent time for Dragonite if they choose to put both of those hero middle. It's good backup. Again, I like flexible heroes. Magnus, he's okay in lane. Once you get past that laning phase, he has good AoE, he has decent gank potential, he has AoE stun, and he's good versus BKB. He can anti-push, and he buffs your carries too. So he's like good at pretty much every stage of the game except for the first 5 minutes. And when they have a Dragonite, you don't have to worry about the first 5 minutes. So again, I like the picks of LGD a little bit more right now. Navi, I think they could actually do something. I would like to see this a lot. I would like to see them go into an opponent jungle and ward and just roam a little bit with the Chen and Lina, just because I think Rubik is extremely, extremely weak in the early game. And if you catch him with any spell early game, he can just die. And they have the 5-man.
But who's the
They
initiator?
have Dragon Tail. They have Lina.
Well, oh, you mean at level 1?
Yeah, in the level 1,
Okay.
they can just go there, take control of the jungle, and then just Chen can play aggressively and punish the Magnus pick and punish the Rubik being weak early and try and get a little bit of a head in the early game because of that. Hit level 6 earlier, get level 6 on Lina. She can crush those any of those heroes early game, and I would prefer to see that over the passive. Okay, let's farm a 6 and do like a little bit of shenanigans here and there, maybe 1 or 2 smoke ganks, but play passively. I think that Navi has the stronger level 1, level 2, level 3 lineup.
I think right now LGD could actually pick into a Kunkka for their solo mid. Play Magnus on the safe lane farm and then go offensive try. They're going to go with Shadow Fiend coming out from Navi. Is this our Dendi Shadow Fiend?
Okay.
That's a big question.
This is not a Dragon Knight solo mid. Someone pray to their deities.
I'm praying to my pet rock right now that Shadow Fiend goes mid, because last time we saw Shadow Fiend play mid, it was very reminiscent of PIS. It was just absolute domination. I think he played
Shadow
against...
Fiend owns.
He owns weak melee heroes like Beastmaster and Dragon Knight.
And Magnus.
I'm not sure if he beats Magnus flat out.
I think he can beat Magnus.
If you pull him hard enough and give him the Chen support that Puppy was really
Right.
good with, I think he can. But we'll see.
We will see, indeed. I mean, they can... LGD can potentially punish it with like a Rubik telekinesis into a backward skewer. Shadow Fiend would just flat out die from that, but it takes a lot of a fair amount of commitment from there, decent lack of awareness from Shadow Fiend, or they could rotate in with a Visage. Visage is a little bit weaker though. I think that Navi has a better lineup for protecting Shadow Fiend if they choose to use Chen for that purpose. But Shadow Fiend, very strong right clicker, and I have actually seen Team Liquid pick it up in a sort of similar situation, which is Shadow Fiend versus Gyrocopter. You both do BKB rush, and Shadow Fiend just mans up on the Gyrocopter. You just don't care about flag because you have Helmet of Dominator. Wow, Bounty Hunter. So this, I think, is going to be a very action-packed game. My wish for a Bloodbath was granted.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see whether the Bloodbath is going to be one-sided, or let's see if both teams going to have a good time real on each other. I really think the Navi gank is going to be very weak. Unless Puppy gets himself a Dark Troll Warlord, which
it's a Dragon Tail stun, man. It's a 8-second cooldown roar.
Well, then
9-second.
Well, we'll see who's going to be playing what. But, I mean, I'm talking about a double roam early on. Because who's going to initiate? Unless you have a Dark Troll Warlord, which you may or may not find. So, I think we need to change server to Perfect World.
Oh, it's not on Perfect World right now. So it looks like we will have a
Is that why I could see the
slight
heroes?
delay in the game. Well,
There's 2 different perfect worlds.
I see.
Oh, I didn't know that. Perfect worlds.
Is the other Perfect World more perfect than the this Perfect World?
Can't be worse.
So why don't we talk a little bit more about the Shadow Fiend and I guess just more about the draft in general. I mean, Bounty Hunter is pretty obvious. It is decent versus very good versus Weaver actually. Once you get a track on him, unless he has a Mansa, BKB, or wants to blow time lapse that early, he can't wreak as much havoc as we usually see Bounty Hunters do. But Dendi Shadow Fiend. So I mean, are they going to have enough support to handle that?
Dendi Shadow Fiend, I think it's very easy gank, like you said. One skewer is going to be all they need. So telekinesis into a skewer lift. You probably don't even need to rotate your Visage. In any case, I do believe they have enough to kind of deal with it.
Just deal with it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
I don't think you say, hey, Xiaowei, you handle Dandy for 2 minutes and then we come later. I think you park to mid him.
But Chen creep at level 1 is much stronger. I think that Puppy will rotate, and I believe they're on Radiant.
Yep.
This game, I think it's a little bit safer for Shadow Fiend on Radiant. People generally consider Radiant as slightly stronger solo mid, just because it's a little bit more difficult to smoking from the cliffs.
Also, it's easier for your support to stack the level 1 camp, and then you could actually double raise it, and that's like all your souls. So that's definitely something you could take advantage of.
Yeah.
I think that LGD definitely need to put pressure mid.
So who do you think has a stronger draft right now? I think that
I'm personally not understanding the Bounty Hunter pick as much. If you could show your thoughts.
Well, they banned out the Nature's Prophet. I mean, it's decent versus Weaver, and I think it will stem the early aggression that comes out from Navi, just because if it messes up, they get punished so heavily, right? Way more so than usual. So maybe they want to play more of a farm game, I guess, which is kind of like contrary to the popular belief of picking Bounty Hunter. But Bounty Hunter is very good at picking early engagements, and if you come out ahead, even on a skirmish, you come out way ahead.
Yep.
So in actuality, it seems like you should be, we have Bounty Hunter, we should gank a lot, but the opposing team is usually like, hey, we shouldn't fight early and give them track kills. So it actually tends to be a more passive game, and maybe they want to do that. That's my sort of thinking about it. Also, it's pretty good versus Weaver, right? Track is pretty good and dissuades Shadow Shadow Blade pickup and the split push potential of the Shadow Fiend as well as the Dragon Knight. But again, he is very weak to the 5-man push, right? But they have a lot of heroes to deal with it. They have
Bounty Hunter shouldn't be your lead defender on against a 5-man push. He's the one that
no. It's not a lead defender. It's more of a we counter your Bounty Hunter pick by trying to 5-man push.
Right. I really like what track gives you against this particular lineup because it seems like there's going to be a lot of dancing back and forth.
Super fast bats coming in for the stun.
Super fast heroes moving back and forth because you gotta have to run away from that Dragon Tail, as well as the chain creeps. And looks like everybody's picking it. And so far, I see Hovos.
So you never told me about who you favored in the picks.
Oh. Well, now Hovos is playing Shadow Fiend, so I definitely favor
oh
LGD.
Boy,
because
that's not fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
I favored LGD before. It's more mainstream. It has just a little bit of everything. I like the AoE. I like the Gyrocopter pick. He's a very safe carry and scales very well with farm. And if you don't punish it early, he usually just crushes you in the mid game. Visage and Rubik very strong supports. Magnus good for turtling in case things go wrong. And on the side of Navi, Shadow Fiend, he requires a lot of babysit. Dragon Knight we've talked about a lot. Weaver not the greatest versus Bounty Hunter, and Lina again they have no good setup for her, right? Usually you want a Shadow Demon or a Rubik, but all they have is a Chen. So I think Navi's takes a lot more coordination to pull off. LGD's just a lot more safe. Easier, flexible.
I'm gonna agree with you. Now we do see Dandy swapping back on the Shadow Fiend, and I still favor LG's line a little bit more for a lot of the reasons.
Well, he did get pulled a lot.
Yeah. Well, he just got pulled a Wraith Band, or got pulled a whole bunch of regen, and then he
that
bought the
485 gold pool. That would be disgustingly nice.
Oh, we do see the complete rotation into the enemy jungle. You talked about whether it's gonna be the Radiant that's going to block off a combo cam. In fact, it's a Dire that's coming in right now with Yao leading charge with invisibility selected as his first skill, as well as Poor Man's Shield.
Oh, he got pulled too.
Yeah.
He's looking rich. So, I mean, it really depends on what Hovos wants to do. If he wants to play passively, they can't go in just because they really rely on that Dragon Tail for initiate, especially with the Lina stun to follow. Looks like they already have this ward here at the Magic Rock, and Kuroki will try and search for some wards. Does he have sentries on him? No, he does not. They did place a sentry ward over here. That is rather unusual.
What?
Was that a misclick?
Did he think... what?
What?
Did he think that there might be a ward over here that scouts the movement?
I would assume that you just place it like right here in this area, and then you can kill the one at the magic bush. You can kill the one in here. You can kill it if they block their spawn. I don't know. That's just a strange ward overall. I think it's a waste of 100 gold, but...
Well, it's going to be effective.
They want to kill Bounty Hunter.
A scouting Yao out
Did that
here.
one click.
Yeah, well,
that
ward, best ward ever. No, they're not going to kill him. They don't have enough. They don't have physical right-click damage because actually, if he runs through the north as he pick up this particular creep, he's actually playing some next-level shenanigans right now. But let's look at the mid lane because that's probably the lane that everybody wants to see. Then the Shadow Fiend against Xiao Ace Magnus. Gotta favor the Shadow Fiend here as the animation is not that bad. And of course, the damage output should actually be able to keep up with Magnus. And once he gets up a couple of last hits, it should be absolutely easy as he gets 2 denies, and the farm train is going to roll on quite quickly.
And looks like Yao is trying to mess with them, but they do have that GG Sentry Ward over here. Look at that pool. Man. What in the... I didn't even see that pool. How did that happen?
I think it was actually a Yao that
pulling it into them.
Pulled it, and then they attacked it off.
That hurts him a lot. He's going to be level 2 in like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Well, not 3 minutes, but 3 minutes, maybe. Sylar is farming up on the top lane here. 5 and 3 is his CS. Meanwhile, Dragon Knight on the bot lane, also farming quite easily. Very surprised that he did not select Dragon Split for his one assist skill. He's looking to actually kill very aggressively. I don't think he's actually going to fire off the stun. Where's the invisibility? Where's the Sentry Ward? LSA is going to hit. Sentry Ward's going to get dropped here, and everybody's right-clicking away. The slow is going to come in from the Wild Wing, but that's going to be it because Wild Wing, not exactly your premier ganker.
Poor Man's Shield, also known as Pro Man Shield, really doing a lot of work there. They had a sentry a little bit late, but I think even with 1 more second of right-click damage, it wouldn't really have gotten them first blood. But again, Hovos not picking up the Dragon Blood level 1. Slight surprise, but I guess he's going to try and go all-out offense so that they can kill Yao. Looks like LGD's doing decently in this early game, especially with this constant stacking by DD. Funnick is still level 1, and Bounty Hunter is already level 2, so they're doing a bit better in the safe lane.
Yeah, forgetting the other levels here, you just gotta look at solo mid as Dandy is just winning this lane. 9 last hits and 7 denies. Oh my goodness. There is no support coming in right now to actually slow this down.
Oh, that's his bottle too.
Yeah, that is his bottle that he is going to be getting. And maybe boots of speed coming up very soon as well. And that's going to actually limit a lot of the kill potential that you could, for example, telekinesis.
Man, this slow Miracy. Up that courier. Oh my goodness. Or it's just Smeevil, not Mirror to see.
Yeah, what are the supports doing? Well, the support, why aren't they rotating mid? They can't, because they have to actually force Funnick out of the lane. If they do rotate off the lane, then Funnick's going to have a grand time kind of harassing Sylar with Sakuchi and whatnot. So basically, Dendi is going to own Xiaowei on the mid lane, or at least out-farm him, out-deny him, and then kind of snowball out of control. My question is, what item is Dendi going to go for? I love to see a Blink Dagger from Dendi, but I really
I would
don't
like
think...
a Blink Dagger too.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it, though, unfortunately.
I think he definitely needs a BKB at one point or another. I generally prefer a Blink or a Shadow Blade, depending on the situation. Probably a Blink in this versus a Magnus versus a Bounty Hunter, and then BKB is just pretty much a necessity against most lineups. So the one plus side about Navi's lineup is they have 3 sort of key heroes that you need to keep down. You need to keep down Shadow Fiend, you need to keep down the Weaver, and you need to keep down the Dragon Knight. And they can only do 1 of the 3 right now. So even though LGD I think is a little bit ahead in terms of experience because of the stacking and the pooling, I think that Navi may be coming out in terms of this early game phase because Dendi is 17 and 11.
Yeah,
right
and the cool thing about Shadow Fiend getting this far ahead is that he is able to pressure your creep wave as well as tower very, very easily. Once you hit level 7, 2 Shadow Rays is 1 creep wave, and if you have enough mana regen on that hero, he is going to clean house, farm a ton, and actually pressure a ton of tower as well, especially if he actually picks up a Shadow Blade.
So Funnick helping him secure the top, and it looks like
it's
it
actually
will
going to
be
be bot.
bottom.
Yeah, Yao's going to pick up maybe Invis, unless it's going to be... Oh, no. A little bit too slow here on Puppy, so right click. And, well, let's see what Xiaowei is going to go for. I imagine once he gets level 6, he's going to start playing a lot more aggressively. Dendi, look at him, just running past the tower, threatening to do more damage. He's going to get a couple of tower shots here. Xiao is recovering a little bit in terms of the last hit department, but 23 to 12 denies. Jesus, the lane dominance is just too strong.
Yeah, and I like how they're punishing the Magnus pick with a super greedy Shadow Fiend pick. Shadow Fiend usually just gets punished very heavily in the early game, but LGD not making a move, and I think they're going to pay for it in the mid game. He's on par with their safe lane gyrocopter against Funnick, who has been zoned out for the majority of the game. He's seen a level 1 half, and now Dendi has overtaken Sylar in terms of farm.
Yeah, not only is he just farming the lane, he's also farming the neutral camps because, hey, if you're pushing the lane so hard, you definitely can do that. Magic Stick is going to get picked up as well to help him actually go against any kind of all-in situation. Raising away to push the creep equilibrium, and now going to secure himself a couple of Marine Qs. Oh my gosh, Xiaowei deny that range trip. He does. And again, the question is, why isn't DD making that rotation? They know that Shadow Fiend is getting a ton of CS, but they're actively choosing not to make that rotation because they say, hey, we'd rather shut down Funnick, we'd rather get a little bit of support EXP. Whether it's going to actually go back and haunt them, we'll have to wait and see. Yao actually putting a ton of pressure against Volts on the bot lane, who is already level 5.
And I think that Funnick being under-leveled is not a big deal here, just because they have a lot of other heroes. Weaver's annoying, but in actually team fights, does he do that much? Maybe with
Swarm's
like a ton of items. Yeah, Swarm is really nice, but again, it's not item dependent, and level 1 is usually sufficient to get the vision and do a little bit of damage and tank tower, which is a very, very strong point of the Swarm. So I don't think this trade-off is necessarily worth it for LGD, but we'll see how it pans out. And looks like Gyrocopter is going for phase boost. I think they could do a lot of stacking too. That would help LGD out a lot if they can get more farm with Gyrocopter, get his BKB ASAP.
I think they're waiting for Shadow Fiend to push across the river right now, and if he does RP after a Skewer plus a Telekinesis lift, should be able to do it. Rune is going to be spawned on the bot lane, and that's going to be a regen. So if Dendi actually get his hand on that one, that's going to be great. Dendi, speaking of which, what is he doing? He's just flat out bottom crawling. He's going to be actually just raising creeps and farming.
He is level 7. He is like way ahead of anyone in experience right now.
Yeah, actually level 5 here. Sees Kuroki by himself. Only a level 1 Janata, so it's not going to do too much. No mana for a Shuriken Toss as well. We saw the YYF going for a max Shuriken Toss build earlier, and I like that a lot more. But when you're doing it off lane and you don't have the bottle regen, I think it's more important.
They dropped the sentry. And
nice dodge by Yao going to the other side.
Good awareness.
I think this is the lane that perhaps you want to level up either Windwalk or Janata a little bit more, because you simply just don't have the mana to support constant spam of Shuriken Toss.
So we see attempted rotation by DD, but they have a ward there. He spots it with a sentry, and now Dendi is wisely playing on the south side of the mid lane. But again, it's really difficult for him to gank. If he wants to gank him from the south or from the north side, when Dendi's positioned right here, he has to tank the tower, and this is again the slight advantage of the Radiant. But looks like DD will go back to the top lane, and Dendi will just keep farming away at middle. 1,200 gold to his name.
Yeah, one thing I do want to point out, Weaver being
another ward. Oh my goodness, they really want to protect him.
Well, I mean, Dendi is definitely the hero that's doing the best right now, and Shadow Fiend is definitely a very powerful mid-game hero.
I wonder if they actually saw Yao with that ward. I'm not exactly sure.
He's playing like
we might see a skewer from uphill. Ooh, Xiaowei coming? No.
I mean, if he gets a Seer, just to apply the slow and RP, they could be able to get the kill. Yeah, he's going to be going for it, I think, right now. Yeah, he's got to go for it. Then he's going to go back. Central's going to get dropped here, and he's in big trouble. Shockwave's going to come, and Yao's walking really low. The Wild Wing Ripper, and that's going to get a kill. My goodness, what micro from Puppy.
Great timing by Puppy there. I thought that Denny was almost going to get Gunner, but Yao just like, oh, no, there's a sentry on me. Run away. Run away.
Shockwave from high ground to low ground. Denny's going to run to the south. Every race is being hit, and of course, that Tornado micro. A lot of people just forget, hey, it does actually do a very tiny bit of damage, and that tiny bit of damage made all the difference. Meanwhile, back on the top lane here, Weaver trying to get some EXP on the tower, already 3.5, but here comes the push, and there is a Sentry Ward under the tower. Unfortunately, if you don't get some tank on this particular, well, Sentry Ward is going to go down now.
Yep, another waste of 100 gold here. Puppy rotating in some creeps. They do have a very aggressive ward here, but I don't think that LGD is really in a position to take advantage of this. I would prefer to see one perhaps down here so they can keep track of where Chen is if they're stacking these camps, keep track of Shadow Fiend. But this ward, I mean, they can see the rotation between mid and top, but you can pretty much expect it when you're pressuring a tower this early and there's no pressure going out on anywhere else around the map.
Well, I don't see any gold being sent by Denny just yet, sitting at about 2,000 gold. I mean, you would just straight up buy a Bougie Travel here, I know, but what would Dendy buy?
Blink Dagger. Shadowblade's pretty good too. We'll see.
Yeah, there's just a ton of option here. I'm praying for.
Oh, there's a smoke ink. The supports.
Here it comes. There is a Sentry Ward on the mid lane here, and let's see if they.
Oh, I saw him buy something. What is it? It's a Treads.
Come on. Come on, Dendy. Dendy walking across the hill. This is the time to go. Can they get enough for the lift? They will not get the lift as Dendy. Base movement speed higher than DD, who does already have boots of speed. Fortunately, a ton of time being wasted. I mean, Dendy was somewhat aware of the idea because, hey, man, supports are not showing themselves on the top lane. Very passive early game here from both sides, and you gotta favor.
This favors Navi.
Yeah, Navi for sure, because Dragonite, you know, not exactly the best early game farmer, getting a ton of farm now. We'll be finishing the drums. Dendy's just farming his pants off on the mid lane, and on the other side, because
does Shadow even have pants?
Well, if he did, he doesn't have it now. But Yao,
he already farmed his pants off
last game, and well. In any case, Yao's not getting too many kills. You were talking about if in a passive game, Bounty Hunter doesn't do too much because he doesn't get too much track kills. And of course, Xiaowei does have his arcane boots, and that's cute and stuff, but it's not doing
Yao's
much.
level 6. He's looking for blood. They don't have any wards on bottom. Looks like he was just checking the rune. Nothing to be seen there, but they are stacking the camps a little bit. Speed up Gyrocopter's farm. Speaking of him, he is second in last hits right now. A whopping 16 behind the Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend has been able to rotate to the neutral camps, due to small camp, due to big camp, and just get ahead on farm that way. He is almost level 10 at this point. Meanwhile, the safe lane Gyrocopter only 8.5, even though his supports have been missing and pulling for quite a bit of time. Looks like he is rushing BKB.
Yeah, a ton of item being picked up here. We do see awcup being transferred just to the Shadow Fiend, a buckler on the courier as well as a finished drums on Havos. So tier 1 tower is going to get destroyed on the bot lane, and Navi looking to pressure and push a little bit more. Track going to be dumped on one of the heroes, but Track alone is not going to defend. There's just absolutely zero rotation from the LG lineup at all. No ganks to the mid lane, or at least no successful ganks, and no attempts to teleport to defend. There's a double TP now, finally, but that tower taking a ton of work already. Centaur being dropped down, that's going to scare everybody away, and here comes word the Track being useful. Grave Shield's going to be used, but just no actual chase just yet. The Chen creeps being parked in front of the tower is just zoning everybody out. Another added benefit of that particular hero that we don't think about too much. In fact, they're thinking about going back in here. Havos threatening for the stun. Do you lift him back up? Do you track him out? Havos just not really sure.
Look at Xiaowei's position though. I can expect maybe a big blink skewer here, but they ping him out. They know it's time to run. They're buying Denny time to farm. He's pressuring tower mid. There is another TP, this time from the Gyrocopter, but this leaves Funnick to farm.
Yep. I mean, this is a different tune that Navi's playing. Last game, they're so passive, they weren't able to do anything. It was LGD that was orchestrating the offense. Now, completely different, as Navi, they're the one that's forcing the TP. They're the one that's forcing the rotation. And when they're forcing these rotations, they're getting damage on tier 1. Uh-oh, he's in big trouble here. Stun, lifted, track, and now going to focus him down. It looks like Havos is going to be giving up the first kill. He's going to be running towards the other side. Skir's going to find him, and he's going to definitely go down. Who gets the last hit? It's going to be Magnus.
Track gold.
Yep, track go, and more importantly, go towards the Magnus blink dagger.
What was he doing there?
Yeah, you know, sometimes, like I said, he has perfect farm, and then stuff happens.
Speaking of farm, let's check out the graphs right now. 3,000 in difference of XP earned, and a little above 3,000 in favor of Navi. So Navi pulling way ahead, even though the tower count is even right now, and the kill count is even.
I think mid lane's in a little bit of trouble here. Then it gets tracked up, lift, and look at the constant ganks. Navi in big trouble here. Dendy's going to try to use this ultimate. Gets cancelled, drops one rage. Hand of God comes in here, and it's actually time to retreat. Laguna goes on Xiaowei. He's going to skewer away. He's going to barely survive. Shockwave from 1,000 range. That's going to get the kill. The triple Centaurs coming in. Calldown is going to be used on Sylar. 1 stun, 2nd stun, 3 stuns coming out, and Sylar is going to go down. Really nice micro from Puppey, but if you're LGD fan, you're cheering for that particular engagement because track kills came out. They got, I think, 2 kills out of that engagement, double tracked up. You lost Sylar, but you got to try to defend that tier 1.
Look at the gold graph right now, just after that one, just 2 ganks right there. My goodness. And of course, Havos just dying for no particularly good reason.
Well, they're going to get a tower out of this one. That is aggressive TP. I'm not sure who that was. It got canceled. Good choice. And, well, they back off. All the meanwhile, though, Funny getting a lot of free farm, trying to recover up to 25 CS right now. Let's see what he can make of it, and he should definitely be leveling up Swarm at this point of the game.
He has 2,200 gold. Are we going to see an early rad build from him? Super greedy Navi build?
I don't think he needs to do so. I think you just go treads, go for a medallion, and say, hey, I got something for the team.
We'll see about that. I think Medallion's a fantastic pickup, by the way. That would just allow them to destroy Roshan. And they are underhanded in this sort of matchup because they are on Radiant, and LGD does have the Visage Familiars to try and scout for that. So taking out Roshan is going to be fairly difficult for Navi. I think they maybe need to bait them out top, force them to defend that tower, and then just sneak in a Roshan. Again, they can kill it very, very fast, especially if they get an item on Weaver. I'm still curious as to what he's going to go. He's sitting at 2,500 right now. And meanwhile, Dendy just going for BKB. No utility item for him, or no Blink or Shadow Blade rather. No mobility item.
Back in the mid lane here, Havos is farming away. Dendy says, get out of my lane. I'm going to start hitting these creeps. Dendy raising away. I mean, Shadow Fiend, any thoughts on early BKB? And if this game extends very late, he's going to lose this BKB charge.
I think it would have been better, in my personal opinion, to get a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade just because of the way the game's been developing. Black King Bard doesn't speed up your farm. I mean, it helps you die less, but usually you're just going to die. If you BKB, you'll just get RP'd if you're count out solo. So it's not that big a deal for him to help in split pushing. But Shadow Blade and Blink Dagger, if you have fast enough reactions, for example, if Bounty Hunter is not there and they try and lift you with Rubik, as soon as you see Rubik, just instantly blink away, and it'll usually be safe. It can help you farm a lot more. It'll help you initiate in team fights a lot better. But again, BKB is the safer choice in case LGD is tired of this constant, hey, let's move around, defend towers, and actually make a move on towers themselves.
So now, earlier we just said, I think that was like 5 minutes ago, we said if the game is passive, it definitely favors Navi because they just have better, kind of more late game farming heroes. So we do see a mech up here just to put everybody at full HP. I think they're looking to push that tier 2 with the BKB now up. Does your opinion of the passivity favoring Navi
I think
still happening here?
I think it is if they play the correct playstyle. I think pushing is not a good idea for them, especially with this recent Blink Dagger. Of course, they don't know that, but it's around that time that Magnus has his Arcane Blink, and they could very well get crushed, BKB or not, on Dendy.
Well, here
I think
comes
they
the
can
push.
continue to play greedy.
They're tracking them up. They're focusing on these birds, but tier 2 is going to go down very easily. I think they're trying to come around for these birds, and Magnus is looking for the jump.
They scout the Blink out now.
They're really greedy about these birds. They are going to kill both of the birds. That's 200 gold down the drain. I think I've seen Xiao8's Blink, and they will back off for now.
So again, they can't passively right now. They can farm just because they have the heroes. Although LGD could sneak in a Roshan, it's pretty difficult for them. They don't want to be in that position because DK can just man up on them, and then he can follow in with the BKB with that big Requiem of Souls. We see a smoke from LGD. 2 heroes plus Magnus. Yeah,
Blink Skewer could be a free kill against Puppey on the mid lane, who's just kind of right-clicking freely on these creeps. Or you can even drop an RP for him. It's not even that bad of a choice. Dendy, though, or not Dendy, Puppey, or Havos.
I don't think they have enough damage to kill Havos right now. They only have 3 heroes right now. It looks like Bounty Hunter is coming, but he's a little bit behind if they continue to go top.
Yeah, they definitely need to call down, which Sylar is in position. Tier 1 tower up top in big trouble. The TP comes in right now. Full retreat from Navi. Nobody cut them off just yet. The smoke is about to run out.
Puppey is going to run in
front
line.
Let's see how good this Magnus RP is. If it catches 2 or 3, it's a complete team wipe, or at least a very
They have a sentry there.
Well, I don't think it sees Magnus just yet. The Centaur is going to come in, perhaps trying to scout a little bit.
Great positioning by Xiaowei, though, just hiding along this tree line until They come over there. If they move forward just a little bit, that would have been a 3-man RP. Would have been huge.
Yeah, cooldown's gonna fall through. Track's gonna be used as well. Shockwave. These centaurs are just absolutely so annoying. But look at the pressure on the tier 3 tower as well as a tier 2 tower on the mid lane. Somebody's gonna have to go back here if you're LGD, but if you're going back, it's gonna be a 5v4 situation at the mid lane. LGD definitely not in a good position. Maybe they might be forced to fight a very aggressive fight that they don't want to take just yet. They don't have the time because they're losing a ton of farm on the other lanes.
Yep, and Navi content to sit back and just let LGD. This is just a huge standoff, but is Xiao going to initiate? That is a big question. I think that probably not, because their spread is just so good right now. Look at their spread. We have heroes like all the way around here, and it's just really difficult to find a good RP, especially with the constant moving from the Centaur with the Sentry Ward by Puppy out. They know they don't have any vision, so it's just pretty difficult for them. Yao will go up and scout, and they actually do not have wards for him in the lane.
Yeah, and it looks like Navi's going to back off on the top lane. I think what Funnick wanted to accomplish is that if the siege or the standoff held a little bit longer, he could have done a little bit tower damage to the mid tier 2. But the rotation came very quickly from LGD as well.
Yeah, LGD's doing a fantastic job rotating.
Rotating, yeah, they've been doing very well. But, you know, critically, they're still down by more than 5,000 gold. I'm very surprised. I thought LGD is keeping the game at least a little bit closer. But is Funnick in trouble in the mid lane? Are we going to see a Blink RP? We might. Blink RP is going to be used. Got to lift him up. Where's the lift? Skewer backwards, but there's no follow-up. They do lift him up afterwards, and it's going to make out. Hand of God comes in right now. Suns are there, and they do get him with the help of Soul Assumption. Kuroki in big trouble now. Blink, Shockwave, Tracks on top. That's yet another track kill for 4. And LGD should be catching him in the goal chart right about now.
Wow, they almost like poorly executed that gank, but Funnick still going down. He opted to go mass survivability build with the Basilius, with the Power Trez, with the Ogre Club, eventually into a BKB. I mean, I thought that Funnick was going to be doing okay as he got some farm up as the other heroes rotated about, but I haven't really felt his impact this game at all. Granted, there haven't been that many skirmishes, but you can't just give away free track kills like that. Well, I guess it wasn't a track kill on him, but it was a track kill on Kuroki. But they want to split push. LGD has been 5-manning a lot, so they've been hurting a little bit on farm. But if they pick up kills when they do decide to gank, it's not good for Navi.
Yeah. My question to you is that, is Navi in trouble right now? We're going to more of a mid to late game stage. And if you look at Navi's item build, they're not building any farming items, right? Hovos is going for straight drums. That's an item you take in the early game team fight. Same thing with Dendy's BKB. They're not going for the Shadow Blade Blink like you talked about on the Shadow Fiend. They're not going for something like an Armlet or a Maelstrom that helps you farm faster as on a DK. And they're not really taking successful early game fights. They're going to trade a tier 1 for a tier 1 right now. Dragonite trying to defend this one. Or maybe they're going to try to get the tier 1 up top and defend and maybe take a fight mid. But I feel like LGD is avoiding fights well enough and then getting the free picks that they're getting with track. So I think LGD is definitely playing a lot better.
Yeah, their team fight's a lot better, though. They have the RP. That RP is just such a team fight changer, and Navi doesn't really have any big team fight ultimates. They have Requiem of Souls, but it's not going to do anything for his BKB, and if Magnus dies with it, he already got his RP off, so usually not a big deal there. So again, I have to favor LGD in these upcoming team fights, even though Navi's slightly ahead on gold, just because of the threat of a 3 or 4 man RP.
Looks like DD's going to follow on funding out Jukes on the right side, and she jukes just about everybody, and he should be fine. And it looks like Dendy's going to start getting pressuring the tier 2 as well. If you look at the gold lead, it's about 7,500 or 6,000 gold. But a lot of it is actually under the...
Puppy, is he going to get picked off?
No, he's relatively okay near the towers. I do like these defensive Sentry Wards, though. It allows your Bounty Hunter to run a lot more aggressively. Speaking of Sentry Ward, they drop one, they see Yao. Puppy says hello. Here's a nuke to the face, and it seems like the Bounty Hunter's zoned out a little bit. Swarm's going to come through as well, zoning everybody out. Where's the track? They need to track up everybody to allow the rest of the team to have a better team fight. Magnus is still in the base right now, walking back out. Let's check out his goal. He's going to be going for a BKB. They don't have uphill vision, so having track available right now would be extremely, extremely helpful to see who's up there. And Yao still cannot find a track.
So there we go with the farming item. There is a Yasha up on the Shadow Fiend. The Manta will help him split push a little bit, but again, I would have preferred the Yasha first just because BKB simply wasn't used for the whole time. Sure, they could have taken a team fight there, but by the way they were playing, it was just such a passive game. They only have 2 kills in 20 minutes, 1 kill on average every 10 minutes. You probably should plan for the late game, right? They have the better late game, and they've tried to play more of a passive game. Why not play greedier?
I think they thought they could get a little bit more by getting tower kills with Dragon Knight, by owning the lane a little bit harder with Shadow Fiend's raises, but that never really happened. And again, due to the really good rotation of LGD, they never really lost too much. Now, with that said, Gyrocopter isn't really going late game either. He's forced to go BKB first because the damage output. With that said, LGD does have Empower. That spell helps you farm so much faster during the mid-game phase, especially so passive. If you look at Yao, he's just jungling it up with Bounty Hunter. He's going to be going for a BKB himself. And I think LGD, I mean, again, they're still down by, what, 5,000 gold?
Yeah.
But they're not losing their tier 2s, and that's the key. If they want to sneak a Roshan, they might be able to do it, especially with map control being granted by Bounty Hunter tracks.
So both teams just opting to farm their jungler right now. Still a very passive game from both teams. 7 kills in 22 minutes. And I think Roshan's a pretty big point of contest here too. If Gyrocopter takes it or if Shadow Fiend takes it, that can be a very huge deciding factor in the team fights. But again, both teams not really in a position to do it. Maybe if LGD had defended the top tower when Navi wasn't there, then yeah, sure, maybe they could have done it. But LGD kind of forced a 5-man, but they're still getting off ganks when they aren't 5-manning, which is why they're in a better position than the 5k gold may seem.
For anybody that's joining us, we are casting the Alienware Cup. This is the winner bracket finals. Best of 3 series between Navi and LGD China. And of course, loser will be dropped to the lower bracket. But both teams looking to kind of win the series. It's hard to say who's actually ahead. The goal chart definitely says Navi, but I think Ben and I agree that it might be LG that's slowly catching up, at least in terms of the experience and item progression. It's going to be a Mantis out on Shadow Fiend. And well, this is definitely a slow ramp up to his big items, but there's a certain point where Shadow Fiend gets really scary, and that's Mantis is starting to hit it. If he gets one more item after that, like an MKB or a Butterfly, it is almost impossible to get Shadow Fiend, get kills on him.
I would prefer a Linken's on the Weaver. I think that Ogre Club does not really do much into eventual BKB. You can still get steal Shikuchi, you can still get RP'd, you can still get tracked. I mean, it will take off track, but he can still get tracked again. I think it's not the best choice as a catching up Weaver. Sure, you might not die in team fights, but they're lacking on damage right now. They're lacking on farming items. They have a greedy lineup, but didn't choose to do greedy items.
Yep. Navi's going to get tracked here.
Oh, there's a gem up on Puppy.
Uh-oh. Well, now they would know fully, and that's going to be an issue here as LGD claim their particular hill. Looking to actually start making a jump. Again, I don't really think that... I don't think the Shadow needs to jump quite aggressively. These centaur creeps, again, gotta be dealt with, as they do a lot of scouting, seeing the enemy's position and whatnot. In this very passive game, I do believe that Navi's having the better rotation. At least they have one person farming up top in the form of Funnick, who does have the finished BKB. He's teleporting mid, but LG right now isn't doing any split push. They're not doing any split farming. They're not farming their jungle, so that's why they're losing in terms of gold.
And they're not getting tracked yet.
Right, and they're not using the map as well as Navi has been using it. And that's why LGD is falling behind.
And just stand off in mid yet again, trying to do a little bit of dewarding. And the tower is still relatively healthy at about 1,000 out of 1,600 HP. Dendi and the rest of Navi finally have control up that hill. So LGD is forced into a slightly more defensive position downhill. And I think that they should just push out top right now and force LGD to choose to defend either top or bottom. Or, I mean, they could potentially jump on them, but I think that's really on the other 4 players to try and play as safely as possible. I'm actually surprised that they're forcing an issue, especially given their lineup, but they do have that recent BKB. And Funnick and Dendi sticking together, that could be a big RP.
Yeah, that could be... I'm not sure if you want to stick together. Hovosa's Dragon form very healthy in terms of time. Tier 2 is eating a ton of creep up on the top lane here for LGD. So that's creeps that they're not getting, experience that they're not earning. LGD, they're stubbornly defending this tier 2, but while defending this tier 2, they're losing other greater value things, which is gold and EXP for them right now.
Yeah, again, I'm surprised they're not pushing top right now. I guess they have the ult popped on Dragon Knight, but if they take a team fight right now and they give like 3 or 4 track kills, the greediness of Navi's lineup doesn't really do anything.
I mean, Navi doesn't have to commit, right? You see how passively they're playing. They go in there, hit there once with the Dragon Knight range form, and then they go back. Look at what Puppy's doing. He's pulling a creep wave from the top lane, and then these creeps are going to go on the tower. They die. They don't give experience. They do a little bit more damage. And yeah, he's saying, hey, man, we're not really pushing the mid tower. And if we will eventually get it because of this damage we're doing. And of course,
there's the glyph.
Yeah, we're also doing damage to the top lane here. It looks like, are they really going to chase here? It's going to be a blink RP. The cooldown's going to follow through. Hand of God's going to come down as well. Laguna gets dropped, and Sylar in the middle of the team fight here. They're focusing on Funnick. Funnick, oh no, he's got a time lapse. He doesn't have time lapse. Sakuchi back out, but DD also Sakuchi looking for the telekinesis lift. He's going to have it in 5 seconds. And my god, blink skewer here. Funnick's going to eat a, oh wow, they're going to get him. So that's what, 2 track kills? 3 track kills?
I believe 2.
2, but they're defending the towers instead of going for the Roshan kill. The RP that did not show on the screen grabbed 2, and, well, I think Navi's in big trouble.
I think they are in big trouble. There was really no reason for them to force that. Maybe if you got a T2 top out of forcing
But they're not
issue.
forcing it.
Yeah, right.
They were just staying, like, really far away from the...
I think they should have just pushed the creep wave. The creep wave meets in the middle, right? So they can just kill the creep wave here and just do other stuff. Either farm the jungle, from the ancients, push out top, and then just kill the wave every 30 seconds, force LGD to 5-man in this area right here, and then meanwhile they can just farm this whole entire area. And they would have come out way ahead in terms of farm, would have played better into their lineup, and would not have fed Bounty Hunter track kills. But now that they've done that, I mean, that's the first RP I saw out of the game, but it was a big kill for them.
I think they used 1 RP against the Weaver on the mid lane, but the first meaningful RP
yeah, that's right.
as a
True.
team fight tool, and that definitely delivered, right? He only got 2, but it was the 2 very important ones, Shadow Fiend being, or not Shadow Fiend, I think it was DK, being in the middle of them. I mean, there's 3 PKP on Navi, but I just don't feel like they could win a fight.
BKB just is not good versus this lineup. Flat Cannon will still destroy you, especially if he has the
Call
amount
down
of farm
slow.
as he does. Call down slow, Magnus RP, track, again, right click from the familiars, spell steal from Rubik. There's so many things that go through BKB. They don't have the best team fight oriented lineup. And again, if they wanted a team fight, I felt like they could have drafted more for it, either taking the Magnus for themselves or a better team fight than Lina. But regardless, Navi does have technically the better late game lineup. They are barely ahead in gold right now, less than 500, or actually that's the XP graph. Gold right now, about 5,500, 6,000 in favor of Navi.
All right, so what do you think that LG China needs to do next here to get themselves back in the 0 line, I guess, even up in the goal?
I think they can
Sakuchi to lift Havos. Now, the thing is, they don't he has to force to pop the BKB. He might fight this. The cooldown's going to apply some slow. DD should be fine because he has Sakuchi. He's going to Sakuchi right out. Hand of God's going to come in here. Where is the track coming in from Yao? They really need to keep tracking. Did he use it already? No.
It got
BKB'd off?
BKB'd off.
Okay. So, well, force the BKB usage out of Havos, force the entire rotation coming out. It's not too bad, but back to my question, what does LGD need to do?
I think they just need to pick off kills on whatever carry they can find using RP. RP into telekinesis, into Vigil Stun with a track. That's a lot of cooldowns for 1 kill, but Navi, again, they don't have the lineup to sort of defend against that push. They don't have an anti-initiation, a counter-initiation in the form of Shadow Demon Disrupt, a Bat Rider pulling someone in, a RP, a Ravage, nothing like that on the side of Navi. So they can just pretty much zerg down 1 hero, and if they're in a defensive position, for example, close to the T2, which is the last 2 fights that they've taken, they can just retreat, run away with their track guild, and Navi don't want to fight 4-on-5 when most of LGD's spells are on cooldown, everything but RP at least.
Any thought in the consideration that, hey, I have to hold on my RP for quite a meaningful kill? Like, I can't use the RP against the Luna for a free pickoff because RP is really the only thing that's keeping me alive against the PKBs? Or do you feel like LGD is strong enough to say that, hey, BKB or not,
I think if they pick off Shadow Fiend, it's worth it. Like, definitely Shadow Fiend. If they pick off Weaver, again, doesn't do much. All he has BKB, almost no damage. They have track. They have Shikuchi on DD himself. Weaver's not a priority target at all. It's irrelevant whether or not he dies. Of course, if he dies, it's a bonus, along with another hero. Dragon Knight, he's annoying, but the problem is he's better for longer fights, right? And the fight on LGD is better for a 10-second fight. RP, call down, flak with 1 track and familiar stuns. That should be enough to kill 1 or 2 heroes. And the longer the fight goes, the better it is for Navi. But LGD can just kill someone so fast. If they get 2 RPs on anyone, it doesn't matter. I think that they can win it that way. If they can get 1 RP just on Shadow Fiend, I think that's worth it too, as long as they can kill him in it, which should be able to happen considering the lack of stuns from Navi.
So if you're Shao 8, you're saving that RP for the team fight or the Shadow Fiend
2 or more Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. So basically that's pretty much it. And if you don't
or
see
anyone solo farming, of course.
Sure. And if you don't see anybody, then you just
save it.
Keep farming.
Just track them up and then see what they do. If they run away, then they're probably alone. If they just whack away at the tower, they're probably still with other people.
Well, a couple of key item pickup here. Would you see Havos picking up Hyperstone, whether it's AC or Milnir? We'll see a little bit later on. Generally, you actually go AC if you pick up the Hyperstone first. Mech is finished on Puppy, as well as his Arcane Boots. And that's pretty much the relevant item pickup. The 3 BKB still available, the Man Style. There's nothing on Kurogi. Generally, you see him starting to pick up a couple more items towards the later stage of the game, but nothing just yet. Butterfly finished now on sideline.
So, what do you think about the clutchness factor of both teams? I think that LGD has proven to be a very consistent team in the mid or late game, the 20-minute mark plus. They rarely make mistakes, besides maybe get underfarmed because they 5-man too much, but that's not necessarily a mistake. That's just a difference in playstyle. Meanwhile, how do you think about both of these teams, like clutchness, ability to make mistakes? Who do you think is going to mess up first going here on out?
I think LGD is already messing up a tiny bit. I talked about their lack of split pushing, like getting some more creeps out of the map. For example, when Navi was split pushing mid or pushing mid, like that's a ton of creep kills that they miss. So these are like the slight mistakes that LGD is making, but I generally don't see them make huge ones, like the game throwing ones. So if you want to call it clutch, I think LGD is just a lot safer. They're a lot more passive, and as a result, they might miss out on tiny advantages, but they generally don't lose games off their mistake. Meanwhile, on Navi, they're kind of fairly safe as well.
We see a smoke from LGD.
Except they have Havos, who sometimes is here and gets picked off. And he is the one-row player. And if you get picked off sometimes, like if he gets picked off right now, they lose Aegis, right? That's definitely a big move. I'm not saying he's going to make that type of mistake this game, but I don't feel safe betting money on him. So I think... I mean, sure, Navi got ranked a little bit higher on the clutches factor on the hexagons, but hexagons be damned, because we need dodecagons.
So they are scared about Roshan, but LGD China is actually up top trying to smoke and kill somebody. And I think that this would be a fantastic trade for them. If they can trade the T2 for Roshan, I would definitely do it.
Wow,
give it to Dendy and then take a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah,
or
man.
Give it to Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, they realize, hey, we're not gonna find anybody.
That's a bad trade for LGD.
Yeah, they just lost a ton of gold, and that's kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? They play so safe that if you make a slight mistake, you're actually further down behind because now you have to 4-man TP. Magnus is going to get a little bit farm back, and they're not the team that's going to go into the Roshan pit and trying to sneak one. In fact, it's going to be a reverse smoke coming out from Navi. This is the fight they're looking for. Yao, perhaps.
Here it goes.
Uh-oh. Yao's going to be the first
Some
one.
action.
Do they have the initiation stun, though? See, they don't. That's the problem. Yao could always pop his
Havos,
BKB.
what are you doing? He doesn't even have the gem. His smoke got popped. The jig is up. Yao scouts him out. They ping it out, and now that was just a useless smoke. I think that Dragon Knight could have been a little bit better about his positioning. You don't want to run along this left line just because if someone's over here, you can't stun them and your smoke will pop. But if you stand over here, it's not gonna be able to pop. And if you just circle around here, you'll be able to stun someone as soon as your smoke pops, and then you can actually make use of the 100 gold. But regardless, Havos a little bit not too great on the position there, and LGD still at Roshan. They see Shadow Fiend TP.
Oh my god.
This could just be the easiest Roshan
they have to go for it, right? I mean, at least do some damage to it and then force out the fight. Of course,
why
Navi
did Denny TP?
Well, yeah, I gotta defend that tier 2, but Denny with this Yasha will get there very quickly. The thing is, LG is actually lacking in terms of damage output. Yeah, the Swarm gets thrown out. The Chain Creep gets sent back in. So I guess Navi realized that the room they had to actually make that play, and they made it, wasn't really punished for it. But
if Dendy had the Boots of Travel right now, just send him back with a Chen, and then farm it up, and then just TP to a creep on the fight. Boots of Travel so good.
Well, then he wouldn't have other items. But in a game like that was so passive like this, if he actually gone for Breach of Travel first item, he would have more item right now.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have to use the teleport scroll. He walks a lot faster.
They could have had this T2 tower on top.
He farmed a lot faster. He could split push better. Not to say that his BKB first is an incorrect choice, but he didn't know how the game's going to turn. The bird's going to scout somebody out. Havos going to find himself a bird.
Pretty close to AC. Yeah. So both teams, again, still playing very passively. Siler, I believe, has enough money for buyback. If not, he's very close to getting 1,500 gold. He definitely has enough money for buyback now. In terms of the graphs, pretty much just leveled out right now. Both teams trying to, like, 5-man close to the Roshan pit. Neither one wanting to commit to it and just dancing around it. Neither of them wanting to give it up to the other either.
Dire advantage, man. You got the Ancients. You can farm this Ancient while
ping it out
protecting
again.
Roshan. Couple pings coming out back and forth. Any thoughts of a massive, like, next level 4-staff from high ground to low ground to take the Roshan? Or do you say, hey, they got Chen creeps, Puppy's too good, he's always gonna scout
just
like he's doing right now?
I think just get a gem, which they have on Visage. Use the bats to scout up the hill over here, and over here,
and keep killing all the Chen creeps.
Keep killing Chen creeps, kill those observer wards, get an HOD on Jarkadra, just steal it. Either of those would work. Take it on their vision. Navi can't scout it out unless they send Chen creeps, and Chen creeps aren't that expendable. They're kind of expendable. Looks like free Roshan for LGD. Not looking good for Navi.
Yeah, I don't think they counted in the fact that Sylar's going to pick up a double damage, and then they got the Aegis for free. Funding was very far away, and that's what made the Dire team feel safe to do so. Now, there's an Aegis on Sylar. Does it actually change the stage of the game yet? I don't think LGD is looking to actively push. I don't think they're looking to actively do anything. In fact, they're going to just play it safe and then look for those track kills.
I think it definitely alters the playstyle for Navi, right? But they can't force issues at T2 right now. At least not for the Sentinels. They definitely can't. So all they need to do is just split push a little bit, use that Manta style, try and maybe force a gank out of that on the Shadow Fiend. Maybe just get... I think a Shadow Blade would have still been pretty good here by any of the other heroes except for... or any of the other heroes, just because you can still split push with it. Bounty Hunter can't always be on your ass. He'll be on it most of the time, but again, if you can split push, take out this T2, and then force them to defend their T3, that's when you can take Roshan, and that would have been a huge boon to Navi.
Meanwhile, we do see Sylar picking up Helm of Dominator. Generally, you don't point out this particular item too much, but in this game, against a Chen, yeah, free creeps, baby. You don't even have to look around to find them. And of course, the cooldown's so low that you could basically pop it every time you do see a Chen. And the way that Puppy's been playing it, he's been using them to scout, so Sylar generally run into them quite a bit. Tier 2 is going to get destroyed. You were saying that there's no way that Navi could take a Tier 2 fight against LGD, and, well, it holds.
Again, Navi playing very uncharacteristically passive. Maybe they've been staying in China a little bit too long. I don't know what it is, but 2 kills in 38 minutes. This is...
that Chinese tofu, man.
This is the LGD China game that Lumi loves to cast.
Remember they said you gotta just they gotta give themselves alcohol and then they just like start playing weird. I think LGD spiked their drink or something.
This is definitely weird. I was hoping like weird crazy as in go all out bloodbath. This is not the bloodbath I was expecting.
Well, maybe we're gonna see some next level team fights a little bit later on. But for
unless creeps have tons of blood.
They do.
They're trees though.
Trees have blood.
Do they have blood?
Ghouls have blood.
Melee creeps don't have blood. I guess there are more dire creeps being slain.
They have souls. They give soul to Shadow Fiend. In any case, I think what Navi is waiting for right now is the Aegis to run out. So we're not going to see any kind of play from them, at least, for the next 3-4 minutes. And I think if you're LGD, you actively look for some kills. Gyrocopter's not with the team.
Look for it, they are. There is no gem there. They get a track on Kuroki.
What is Gyrocopter getting? No, he's just finished fully on the Satanic. I was like, man, you could hold on the helm for a bit, maybe an upgrade to Travels.
Everyone's going tank. Shadow Fiend has his Reaver and 3,100 gold.
Yeah, I mean, the minus armor makes the Satanic a lot better to me. But it's really the same because like how fast you do damage and how quickly you attack. They see Kuroki. Do you just blink skewer this guy? He's taunting right now, Kuroki. I see you taunt.
I think it's a better item choice for Dendi than it is for
blink skewer. They see Puppy the RP. This is a one-man RP. I'm not sure whether that's worth it. Skewer right back to the team. Puppy's dead.
They still can't take a fight though. Like with the Aegis on LGD, this is just a free T2. They can't contest it. Shadow Fiend, maybe if he has his Satanic right now, but again, I think it's just going to be a free tower. No harm, no foul, or not at least not that much harm. And Navi will split push bottom. And if LGD pushes, I would be very surprised if they push T3 right now, but I don't think they can with that RP. But again, Satanic on Shadow Fiend, I think a little bit better just because he needs to survive the BKB and able to life leech that life back up. Meanwhile, I think that a more bursty damage build from Sylar would have been better just because they need to be able to kill someone during the BKB. So that T3 tower is actually under a lot of attack, 960 HP.
They're going to
TP back.
Yeah, they see Fennec pushing in. Of course, I think Denji was pushing in a little bit as well, but that's just more gold for Sylar, who made himself at least 300-400 gold with that big creep wave. And look at his gold right now, 2,600 gold after finishing Satanic. The age is still very healthy. And I mean, in just the past 4 minutes or so where LG had that Aegis, look at this gold graph. It is just plummeting. And I'm not sure, again, whether LG or whether Navi's hero go that late. Shadow Fiend's the fine late game hero, but he's, to me, already hitting his peak.
Like a mid late game hero, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he can do a lot of work with that.
The reason that he's strong is because he hits his late game faster than other heroes because of his farming.
But they haven't abused that fact.
Right, they haven't abused the fact because they got BKB first. There's very little split pushing. He's been farming very well. But aside from that, Dragonite, he's also more of a mid to late game hero. But at the same time, his damage output falls behind a little bit, but maybe with the minus armor that the Shadow Fiend provides, he is a little bit better. I just think Gyro reigns supreme right now.
Yeah, that flat cannon is going to just crush most of Navi's heroes. All of Chen's creeps. The Lina definitely... Oh, no. Actually, she has a Ghost Scepter. LD sub, please. Sub in. This game, still passive. I mean, I've been saying this for the past 20 minutes, but 2-8... 42 minutes in. So how's your day been going, Lumi?
Oh man, it's going great. I see creeps dying left and right. It's like American breakfast.
Wait, how do you feel about these sort of farm pests without anti-mage? Are those exciting to you?
I mean,
Or only anti-mage?
there's definitely a lot of rotation all over the map, and sure, it's boring because there's not many kills, but strategically, again, with the Aegis being picked up, you see LGD picking up the aggression a lot earlier, even though there's no kill. And
We want blood!
Alright, we might get some Tower Blood. Alright, Tower Blood happening on the mid lane as they're starting to siege onto it. One thing I do want to mention is that the LGD supports, in terms of the late game, is also a lot better than Navi supports. Hand of got heal, as well as Navi, or not Navi, Lina nuke. It's not that big of a deal compared to a spell steal, something that you take from Dragon Eye, for example, or the Weaver. And of course the soul assumption, constant slow nukes and the burst stun. That's just a lot more.
I don't understand why Navi's not.
Alright, Dragon Eye popping that nuke right now. They can focus on Sylar. Aegis might be running out very soon. He's gonna focus on 2 birds first. Where's Xiaowei? He pops the BKB.
BKB RP, what? Oh my goodness.
Well, he RPs the ground. Did he get cancelled? What cancelled it?
He had his BKB popped. I don't know what exactly happened there. I just saw him just straight up BKB on the cliff, turn around, boom, RP on the ground. Looks like LGD will. I don't actually think that Navi saw that. I think.
Well, we have some flames at the studio from our white analysts, but the Chinese will hold on.
Gold graph right about at 0. Looks like we are looking at another stalemate until.
Wait, so Navi
the
doesn't
next
know,
mission.
right?
Navi, I don't believe knew. Magnus was standing right here. He BKB'd, he turned around and just dropped the bomb on the grass. On the grass.
The bomb.com was not the bomb because it hit nothing.
So, okay, I think we should go to story time, Lumi. There's not too much else to say right now. Just again,
We want blood.
we want blood. I definitely want blood.
Look at these angry Americans. God, can we just enjoy the sereneness that is creeps falling gracefully onto the ground and more gold.
So one thing I'm very surprised about is that Navi almost certainly had like timer of the Aegis there, and if they aren't going to fight at the T2, they like kind of try to engage, but they didn't really commit to it. Again, we see this like sort of half committal way more often than we should. I think that teams should really abuse, like, okay, if we aren't going to fight, we're going to split push and just really force them back in that way. So at least you're getting something out of just standing there and doing nothing.
It's hard to split push against that bounty hunter and then blink Magnus because, like, it's what do you do? It's really like you don't know where they are. They're gonna what backdoor tier 2? Is that it?
I have no idea what they're doing right
Oh,
now. But is there going to be blood? We might see Navi double their kills right now.
No, the thing is, it's so hard for the Radiant team to find any kills because there's BKB and there's actually no initiation. The only initiation.
They have a Vos
they popped
in melee form.
Exactly, there's no initiation, so they back off. Dust is going to be used.
That was such a late dust, but they will burn another BKB charge on Magnus. What a play.
Well,
8-second BKB.
there is buyback available on Magnus. He has a refresher recipe. He has a full refresher right now, but he's definitely saving for buyback Roshan. Back in about 2 minutes in time.
I gotta doubt your math skills right there. He does not have full refresher right now.
What? Didn't I see him had 8?
Yeah, the refresher orb and 2,500 gold.
Oh,
Oblivion
I
stats like
thought he had ult orb, sorry.
Gosh.
Man, that's
doesn't
why-
even take an ult orb, Lumi.
That's why.
Go home, Lumi. This
Oh,
lack
wow.
of blood is really.
Look, man.
It's been a long game.
I
will give
lost
you that.
some bets, and this
I
mechanic
will bet
knowledge-
you another rap song that refresher does not take an ultimate orb.
I will not take that bet.
Okay, so action.
No, just burst dying. Oh, he popped his ultimate. It's gonna stun on DD, but force that backwards, and Havos is right by himself. But BKB's gonna be used on Yao. Where's the RP?
Oh,
Xiaowei?
Rubik has Dragon Tail.
Xiaowei. Is that a range one? I think it's a range one. Looks like the Frost Dragon Tail stunned him. DDC's on the run. DDC's dead. Where is your RP? Oh my god, that's a one-man RP. He gets actually just owned by everybody. Funding is going to die as a result as well. Is he going to buy back and time-lapse back? No, nothing just yet here. Well, that was an amazing team fight. Did you track up a Vos? Can they actually get the lift or stun here? That is a ranged Dragon Tail stun. Fable is going to find up a couple heroes, and they're getting ready to reverse. They see Yao, and Yao's going to stun. Force that backward once again, but I think he's going to go down regardless.
Where's the gem? Puppy?
Oh, Laguna's going to find him. Puppy
Okay.
wraps around, so that's a couple kills. They are going to destroy the tier 2, or at least backdoor it. Or will they? Because the Creequilibrium is right here.
And we are. That was good. I think that they try to save him with 4-step, but these 10-second BKBs, LGD can't really do anything about it. The RP was
they see he's getting
not great.
Yeah.
That RP on a BKB'd Weaver who doesn't actually have that much farm. I don't think that was the best play by Xiaowei. We actually talked fairly extensively about this in the draft phase, that Xiao 8 does not have the best Magnus. Similarly to how Dendi does not have the best Beastmaster, I think that Magnus on Xiao 8, he plays a fantastic bat, and many other heroes, but these RPs are questionable.
For me, Xiao 8's RP are like hit or miss. He's like the ROTK of RPs. Like, sometimes he gets you 4, and it's just amazing. Sometimes,
Roshan being forced by Navi.
well, let's see if they can force it. They definitely have the damage output for it, and I think they are going to get
Good
it.
use of Manta Illusions, trying to delay them a little bit. They take them down so fast. It's 46 minutes
Well,
in
they
the
got
game.
it. They got it. The question is, do you want to take the fight right now? No, they are
They
completely
can. I think they
away.
can. They don't have RP up. I mean, they don't know that, but oh, it's up right now. They maybe want to wait for the refresher orb. No ultimate orb yet up on the Magnus.
No ultimate orb?
No ultimate orb.
Okay, no ultimate orb indeed. Sylar is working on this creep wave here. You definitely cannot make the jump on Sylar. He definitely has buyback. Let's actually jump back to the buyback tab here. Everybody really... No, actually, he's missing a buyback goal for just a tiny bit. But
So Dendi needs more items. He has 4,200 gold right now. He has Aegis. I think he can sell his wand, get a big item, and then they can force something with this before Magnus gets Refresher. I think if he gets Refresher, that is very, very bad. Maybe not, considering the way his RPs have been hitting, but still, that should be a pretty big turning point if he gets an RP on. Ooh.
they're going to get a set off right now. Xiao 8 in big
He
trouble.
bought his
Force that
items
backwards. Oh, no, he does not have buyback. Skewer backwards or mech backup. He's going to die.
He
And
doesn't
oh,
have
no.
buyback. He just bought his
Yeah,
quarterstaff.
he didn't. He didn't. BKBs are down here on Navi, but it doesn't really matter because Navi,
Wow, this clutchness
has,
factor.
has Aegis, has Satanic, and this is going to be a
They can
very,
just
very
man
tough
mode
fight.
this.
Well, Sylar is flacking, and it's actually doing a ton of work. They actually lift him up. Havo's down to about half. He does not have the BKB. He's in big trouble. You actually just could burst him down.
Wow.
And guess what?
That's stolen Dragon
Havo
Tail.
strikes again.
The stolen Dragon Tail by TD.
The 9 carry strikes again.
I thought he's 9? I thought he was 10.
Oh, he was 9 when
Oh.
LD made a mistake, so he's not 9.
Are you sure he's not a 9? He's been playing like one.
He's definitely playing like a 9 for LGD. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I thought that was going to be a very fantastic push opportunity for Navi, especially with no buyback on Magnus, but turns out Vos just runs in.
No, I don't want to blame Havos. I think Havos, like,
I
if
think
you're
giving
play-
away Dragon Tail is not good either.
if you play Dragon out in the front line, that is your job, right? You say, hey, Chen, you got my back with a sandbag. You got my back with the Hand of God.
He did not have so now it's Puppy's fault.
Maybe it was just a force error in terms of Navi's part. Like, the communication perhaps wasn't there. The reaction wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but Havos definitely misstepped a little bit too much forward, got lifted by Rubik.
Yeah,
you should never get lifted by Rubik before you stun him.
I think what actually happened was he was getting greedy with the range attacks on the tower. He stood like right here and he didn't want to miss. I think he could have just stood down here and been okay.
Sure, that's definitely a fair point.
But I mean, regardless, 6 of 10. Let's check the Roshan and the Aegis status. Let's see, another 3 minutes left on that. Let's see what Dendi is going next. Goes for MKB because Gyrocopter is Butterfly, but he will not have buyback.
The way I see how this game goes is that unless there's some scythe up on Navi, which if we want to check right now, there is nobody
scythe.
building the side. There is just one single range stun that you have to worry about.
Quiz for you, Lumi.
Yes.
Does Scythe take an ultimate orb?
I believe it does. And I will bet a wrap on that.
I'm not gonna bet on that one.
Got him. I will double yell on that too. But
Well,
and again, there's one stun that you have to worry about, and if you don't get stunned like that, if you're the key hero, if you're the
oh, there's a
Magnus,
6 smoke. Oh my goodness. Oh, but the trolls get revealed. What's gonna happen here?
they're gonna net on Sylar, but Sylar's absolutely fine. He's got Satanic right now. Okay, BKB on the Volts. RP's gonna be used. That's gonna be on 2. And Sylar on the right side. He's flacking away, but it's really lack of damage output. Everybody's on the run, and you can see Yao's taking a ton of damage.
The refresher RP!
Refresher, BKB, RP. They're gonna go right back, and BKB pops the second time. Volts not too sure who's right. Sylar's actually very low. He's trying to get Satanic back. He's actually getting a ton of HP back, but he will still go down regardless. He gets 1 kill, but buyback comes out from Sylar.
Comes out from Havos
Everybody and their mother as well. So Soul Assumption's gonna get fun. Of course, that 1000 range can focus on Kuroki. Kuroki's dropping low, but so is on the bounty hunter. He buys back. And Dendi, though, he gets caught out. He cannot
This
use
Dragon Tail. Oh my
god.
goodness.
Dragon Tail from Rubik is absolutely OP. 8-second cooldown. They're gonna get yet another Dragon Tail, baby. Dragon Tail, melee Dragon Tail.
Oh!
Gets it out. Dendi's low. Dendi's gonna drop down. No Satanic, of course. Requiem Soul. The last chapter gets 1 kill, and they see Havos, the 9 carry, he's running, but Dendi buys back. Everybody backs off. Roshan's not back alive. There's some random stuff on the ground like Gem and TP Scrolls, but everybody resets. when we're playing more farming Dota.
Huge second RP by Xiaowei there, and again, that Dragon Tail steal by Rubik has killed two very important
That
heroes
was a
in
melee
Navi.
Dragon Tail. You can't follow him for that. Like, it don't do nothing. It's one shot.
Wow. Well,
Where are we in the game?
that was an exciting fight.
Right, let's be honest here. Anybody can still win the game.
yes,
because
of course.
If Xiaowei whiffs RP like the bigbomb.com on the ground, they lose.
Yes, but I think that both teams are going to turtle until next Roshan because that is about when their buyback revival timers will expire, and then the team with the Aegis and Cheese can very well win it unless there's another clutch Rubik Dragon Tail steal play.
Rubik Dragon Tail, the real carry in this game.
Dude, that just owned Denny. I think Denny would have been able to just crush. That Sylar living with like almost no HP, popping a Satanic, turning around, man moding on Havos there. That really changed the fight around too. Havos looks like he's going for a Sange into a Heaven's Halberd, I would assume, especially considering Gyrocopter.
Not bad. BKB charges are going slowly.
Yeah,
not
slowly but surely. 6 seconds on Black King Bar.
Man, I just don't know what Navi could do here. Again, they have the hero, they have the damage potential to win long, drawn-out team fights, but they just don't have any disables. Heaven's Halberd is not exactly a disable. It's a disarm, but it doesn't help you do damage. So
Uta, travel, split push. That would work.
again, there's a bounty hunter on the map. I mean, I'm not saying
BKB TP, man. That's what you use BKBs for now.
okay.
I'm an advocate for it. But again, no split push for Navi. I think that's actually hurting them a lot. The T3 towers are under a little bit of fire. Checking top one is around 1217 HP. Bottom one's around 1200 as well. So I think that Navi does have the slight advantage when it comes to just this like late game stale kind of pushing out thing, just because Magnus is like the second best pusher on the side of LGD. Gyrocopter obviously the best, and meanwhile Navi has DK and Shadow Fiend and Weaver, all much better than split pushing in LGD. But I don't think it will actually come to that, just because it's so late in the game. A lot of buybacks have been used. There was a refresher RP on Magnus, and LGD wants a team fight. There's a smoke. Kuroki, you're in big trouble.
Oh, Kuroki needs to go out. He does have... Oh, they're going to blink. Yes, Gold Scepter. He gets lifted, and he's going to be dead, right? BKB's going to be used. Oh, Xiaowei, what
How
do
did
you
they
do?
kill him?
Xiaowei just skewer his ass. He did. Finally, he gets sent up right now. Is he going to die? That's a question. No, he's going to survive. Uh-oh. Xiaowei thinking about the blink. It's already cooling back down. They're backing off right now. I think they're going to do the reverse. No?
The reverse polarity?
Reverse law. Go. No
And
reverse.
Funnick in the back. He is on DDC's tail and on those gargoyles. So guess he just wants 100 gold. Xiaowei not using RP there, but dropping very low. He still has his refresher up, but BKB still 20 seconds. It is a 4-second BKB now. That took way longer than necessary to kill Kuroki there. But again, they don't really have any sort of counter initiate. All they're really waiting for, Xiaowei to hit a huge whiff on his RP and then just immediately everyone storm in on him. Or if they can get a very good chain stun on him, Dragon Tail into a Lina stun, perhaps into Centaur stuns, and just right click him down during it, either of those would work on favor of Navi. And then that's exactly what they needed to do. Kill Xiaowei, win a team fight, and burst Sylar down if he plays too far up. But Sylar is your secondary concern. He's almost certainly going to get off all his flat cannon charges and all his spells with the level of farm he has. 2300 gold or 2300 HP with evasion, with buyback, with satanic, with MKB and crystal.
How do you kill Sylar? Again, what do you initiate?
Kill Xiaowei.
Or sorry, how do you kill Xiaowei? You just don't have the initiation.
They have the real Dragon Tail,
Yeah.
not the stolen Dragon
Well,
Tail.
the thing is, Xiaowei, he's running into them all the time, heads first. Also, every time I say that Radiant doesn't have too much initiation, they're not exactly plentiful. I mean, you have the RP, which
They have a track.
not exactly reliable. You have the Rubik. Rubik is actually their best initiator. But again, the range is not that much. Rubik does, however, have Force and Blink, so he definitely can get there. Manta Style is finished now. I'm not sure what...
Another smoke from Navi.
I don't like the Manta Style. I think he should have gone Hex. I think the Yasha's nice, but I think you should have gone full
Manta
Hex.
style on the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, like what does Manta actually do for you? Debuff a Penitence?
It doesn't really do that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
It helps you split push. Helps you move faster.
Are we
For
gonna
that
see a force?
initiate, that Janata initiate.
Are we going to see 4-staff backdoor? Also, I do believe that Magnus needs to pick up a Gold Scepter because he is getting shredded apart by Dendi as well as Dragonite.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. And Kuroki, the main source of magical damage, I mean, Shadow Fiend with his Requiem and Shadow Raise is something to consider, but both
There is
teams-
Laguna, so it's somewhat dangerous, but...
Yeah,
I
I guess
didn't-
BKB though. If you're in trouble, you just pop your BKB, your Ghost Scepter comes off, you're immune to magic, all good in the hood.
Well, Dendi and the rest of Navi just farming away.
So this is our second best of three our last one. It is 1-1 Navi to LGD right now. We are in a very, very passive game, to say the least. And loser of this, do they get eliminated?
No, they are going to the losers. Oh, this is the winner bracket.
Okay, this
finals.
is winner's bracket finals. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for correcting me there. And you
Viewers
can, shout
out there
you can shout
are-
out to our sponsors. I think we have enough time.
We need to replace both of you.
No, I'm doing fine.
I'm brain dead from this game.
I'm doing fine.
You said you would substitute.
The only thing I said wrong throughout this cast was that Refresher needs Ultimate Orb, which is pretty bad, but...
And that he had enough gold for it.
Okay.
Liar.
Go chart going south here as LG is farming away. The viewers definitely got their money worth with their $0 purchase on the stream. Thank you guys for supporting the Alienware Cup.
Minutes watched per money spent.
Yeah.
Really good. Good value.
Good value. we
Gotta
we
get
all
that
know
value.
about that Asian value here. As we see Roshan being sneaked here by LGD.
This one is, geez, this one is big.
Well, here comes a Centaur trying to scout things out. Can they do anything though?
I mean,
Roshan
Silo
back
can
to-
just straight up take it by himself. They don't need anyone else. So if he's in a pit by himself, that's not really a positional disadvantage for LGD, because all they need him to do is just sit there and flag some
They're
people.
working on it here. As now they want to engage. Illusion's being sent out here. Swarm's gonna get used as well. That Swarm's gonna be really annoying. Although, Shao 8, my eyes on you, Director 8.
All eyes on him.
Not directing really good. Oosh.
So they have
Going
no
to the
creeps
right
right now.
side.
How do they prevent
Oh my
this? They don't
God.
have any vision. They have a medallion on him. That
That
thing is
post roll
dropping
just
fast.
running YOLO Mo in, and he's actually gonna pop his Dragon
There's
Form.
the cheese.
cheese on the ground. Somebody picks back up. What an RP! It hit the ground. Oh my God, that ground was so strong that there's an RP on Funnick. That's a one-man RP. You get one, but where's everybody else? Everybody else is getting film on Sylar. It's gonna go down. Who had the Aegis? It's gonna be DDC's.
What happened to the second RP?
No, the first RP hit the ground, the second
Oh
RP hit
my
Funnick,
goodness.
and now DDC's gonna be on the ground, LSA's gonna miss, and there's a Dragon though. Dragon that has a mother effing blink deck. What are we watching right now?
Not Dragon Knight.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Shao 8
I'm
has
just
the
losing
Aegis.
it right now. Hovos gets lifted here, and Sylar got. Where's the BKB Sylar? Sylar's just getting bombed up by everybody. He goes
he doesn't
down.
have buyback.
Oh, the mini Dragon Knight has a blink dagger. Meanwhile, Shao 8 gets one kill, but he's also going to go down. He has the Aegis, but critically,
Can
Sylar
they stop the blink?
has died twice. Yeah, can he get off the blink? Blink, my friend. He does get off the blink, but does it matter here? Oh, look at DDC just getting, or DD getting on. I think with Sylar being dead for 82 more
I think
seconds.
they can just take.
Yeah,
the
Navi's going to
throne.
win this game. Maybe. I don't know.
Where's your buyback, Kuroki? He has 1367 gold. Sell your stuff. Get a boots travel. Go push. More blood.
Push, push, push.
This is really the best time for them to strike. They have no buyback on the gyrocopter, no RPs up on Xiaowei, assuming they saw both of them. I only caught one of them. Apparently, you caught the one on the ground.
Yeah, everybody caught it on. The ground caught it. As we have DD trying to defend here, and now I think they're going to lose one Rax. Glyph is going to slow this down 50-second here to Sylar. I don't think one Rax is actually going to decide a game, though, as I'm pretty sure LG
Dendi can just tank it right now. He has 2,700 HP. How are you going to kill him?
Yeah, I don't
The bounty hunter has no items. They have no
gonna get
RP.
used on Havos. You're going to focus on this Rex, but that BKB is getting pretty low. It's going to be a spell steal. It's Flame Breath.
Is it
Blink
Dragon
Skewer.
Tail?
That's going to... Oh, they actually get Funnick.
Funnick?
Funnick getting bursted
Wow.
down. What a play here. And Denny focusing on DD. Ghost Scepter is going to get used here. They actually will hold their Rex, and now Navi's on the retreat. 25 more seconds here until Sylar comes back alive. There's going to be one more creep.
Oh no, they're not running
Oh,
back.
Here comes Havos here. Blink back out here. They're going to try to focus on this Rax one more time. Oh my God. That RP is going to buy them some time. They're going to focus on Dendy. Can they have enough burst damage? Dendy gets sent back here, but Havos does not get sent back. Well,
Man mode.
DK versus
Man
DK.
mode.
But he's trying to man mode against everybody. He's got no damage though, and LGD will hold.
Wow, he has no buyback. Oh, he has no buyback money. 730 gold.
They're going to try to chase down Puppy. Puppy Spore is just running it, trucking it. Force that forward on DD. He's trying to go for the lift. Kuroki, shotgun,
Whoa!
baby! Bang! Meanwhile here, Havos, or Xiao is going to be coming in, not going to get anybody. And
Shotgun.
that's why you don't buy back, because you save for the shotgun here. As now Navi goes back to farming. Again, anybody's game.
Wow, look at this range rack.
Ranger Axe will regen, don't worry, it's all good here. And Sylar will have buyback for the next
Wow,
team fight.
what a play on killing Funnick there. I think that was really the main momentum shifter in that fight. Shao 8 may not have the best RPs, but he does have some pretty good skewers.
Yeah, he does.
One good skewer. I can't pluralize
Some
that.
good skewers. Yeah,
One
that's
good
just
skewer.
One good skewer so far. Well, the question is, do we start going into divine territory? We see a demon edge on Shadow Fiend. Is this a crit or is this
Well, what does Gyrocopter go right now? He has Chrysalis. Daedalus isn't that much of an upgrade, and we just saw him get owned. He bought back, and he just died again, right? And I don't think he can stand up to this triple carry strat from Navi.
Well, I think you definitely could hold on to your data list. There you go. For a little bit longer, you stay for buyback. I don't think you are desperately in need of a Divine Rapier just yet.
I think he needs more items, though. Oh, I guess
Well,
he can't.
His damage is actually fairly impressive, especially with the Empower. LD just suggests new BKB, which I think is a great choice as well. Buyback, of course, is always a consideration. But for me, is what is Dendi getting? He definitely isn't dying. He definitely isn't lacking damage. He's going to go for Daedalus as well. Okay, that's a fair choice. I'm just waiting for some big divines.
Oh, here is the big smoke from LGD. They have RP up. They have Refresher up. They don't have buyback on Sylar. That is what concerns me.
Why are you making this play if you're LGD? There is just simply no
I think
pressure.
they can just take Navi by surprise since you don't expect it. That's the best time to drop the bomb.
Well, they will drop the bomb on Puppy as he's saying that's gonna be a 3-man RP. Where's the skewer? Calldown's gonna be on top. Havo's getting focused. Down you have another second RP. Kuroki's dead. Havos is dead. Sylar's down low. Sylar got a Satanic Funix trying to fight, but Funix getting crit the hell out, and he's gonna be backing out. Chen buys back. What does that do?
There is no RP. It looks like they will be able to force the issue at the T3 tower, but Dendi has a lot of gold, 5,000 gold, and they blew a lot of cooldowns. Let's see, only person down is Rubik, who bought back Puppy, so actually 3-for-1 trade, pretty good for them.
Yeah, 3-for-1 indeed, but like you said, critically, none of those big ultimates are online here. Sylar will have a Satanic in 5 seconds. Gotta be very careful for Sylar. He has no buyback. Oh, meanwhile, we do see
wow, look at that flag owning Dendi.
Oh, Jesus. And Sylar is still working on his tower. Blink Skewer, that's not gonna hit because of BKB activation. Good. Nice time being bought here. Now, Puppy on the front line here. Puppy,
they don't actually have any lockdown without the Rubik, and that it was actually big. Funnick going back around behind, BKBing and killing the Rubik, just pretty much won them this defense, or at least it looks like it.
For now, at least, as Funnick time-lapse getting a lot of HP back, Shadowfiend doing whatever he can. Of course, one more round of Flat Cannon should do it. Sylar getting focused, pops the BKB, has a Stalemate. It's going to go right on Dendi, getting slowed down here. Don't chase Dendi, man. Just hit the damn Rax. Raxes are going down quick. Again, a single Rax doesn't mean a single damn thing, because LGD will fall down and retreat, but well, at least they have a sort of advantage, as LGD is now leading by 5,000 gold, and really it doesn't matter.
Avos casual chainmail.
Is he going for blade mail?
I guess so. Which cool. So let's
blade mail does not do a thing against BKB, but BKB charges are going down, and if there is one big
it's awesome for Satanic, right?
Yeah, it's also really this is why I think that Havos is one of the more underrated carries, because he buys items like these and other carries don't even consider. Flat Cannon, you cannot control who you shoot. And sometimes
BKB though.
Well, your BKBs are not in 10 seconds, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You're sitting for, like, sometimes you just flak and kill yourself. I do believe blade mail is one of the better answers against Gyro, especially if you're tanky as Dragonite.
So Rochan will spawn in about 4 minutes time, and LGD should be pretty content to farm until then. They already have one Rax down. They have a buyback on Gyrocopter. He is maxed out. 4,200. I mean, he could buy another BKB right now, but he wouldn't have enough money for buyback.
Yeah, he needs another BKB, but yeah, like you said, he doesn't have another.
This is where Dragon Knight usually crushes, when you can just Dragon Tail over and over when your BKB
he's
is
getting
down to 4
focus
seconds.
every fight. Like every fight he's getting focus, and I think Xiaowei has a vendetta mark on him, because if he doesn't go on the DK will Dragon Tail him back. So a lot of the RP is catching him, especially the second one. So
maybe he should get a Ghost Scepter. Shotgun Dragon Knight?
I think you're doing it wrong. You're shotgun Dragonite, because you're shotgunning your 100 damage Dragon Tail and your Flame Breath.
It's good to prevent the flak damage, I guess. Blade Mail, even better solution.
I mean, Kuroki definitely could shotgun one of his teammates with the EB, and then will prevent the damage. And it looks like they're trying to smoke backdoor, or they're
trying to smoke behind Funnick.
Funnick's after the vid booster.
So who would you say has the advantage right now?
Well, definitely LGD with the Rexes up. I do believe we might be seeing Navi forced into Divine territory, but Dendi, the way that he's been playing, he's never really in trouble. In terms of like...
He doesn't have a Butterfly though, and he got down to like half HP just from those flax. When he's not attacking, he gets...
Butterfly doesn't do a thing here against Flak, right? No, I mean, it will evade,
it
but
evades.
There is an MKB up. So do you want to say, yeah, it will dodge a Flak, but it won't dodge the actual hit on Gyro? Would you make that like would you make that purchase? Slots are very precious.
He doesn't have any slots. I would just go BOTs and just try and avoid fights from LGD. Just
and
because
BKBs?
Whatever. He's usually not focused though, right? It's usually Dendi. Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
Dragon Knight is getting a lot of attention.
Look, Kovos is definitely carrying the team right now because he's drawing all the focus from Dendi.
Guys, we have 75k viewers, so we're going to a best of 5 to make the most out of it. Just so you know.
Yeah, we're gonna pause for a quick ad break.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
An ad right now would be fine.
Hello, Kevin. Exciting game. Exciting game. We're
Cast the game.
Lumi.
I thought you guys were running ads. Can we cast now? All right. Weaver going into the enemy jungle and start farming away. Weaver actually hasn't picked anything. If this game goes longer and longer, is Funny going to do it more?
He doesn't really do that much. I think he needs to be able to survive that blink skewer telekinesis burst. He actually didn't have enough HP to survive that, surprisingly. It may have been from the Dragon Tail, but regardless, he needs to be able to survive. He did a lot of good work in the last fight by killing the Rubik, and he needs to consistently do that just so they don't steal Dragon Tail and constantly disable Dendi. LGD making a push for the bottom tower.
Yep, Sylar has buyback and Butcher travel if that's what he needs.
Vos
on the back line here. RP's only going to hit one. Second RP that's going to hit on everybody else. Black Cannon's going to come through against Sylar, but not enough damage output, and looks like the Dire team will just retreat. Every ultimate's being used.
Where's the gem?
And they will back off.
I think they could have killed Yao there had they had the gem, but no gem on them. Oh, they have one on Puppy, but he was slightly down south. I think it was a good wraparound. When you play against a reverse polarity, you want to spread out as much as possible. I think Puppy was down here. We had a couple heroes standing over here and 2 over here, and Dendi was back here, and then Dragon Knight was up in front. So good spread by them, not being caught by the double RP. They may be able to take advantage of the small window, 60 seconds until there is 1 RP up, and this is the 4th Roshan.
Uh-oh, here we go. Double RP is down right now, and I think Navi is making a very, very smart play, at least attempting it. Here
if they kill Sylar twice, it's over.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure whether Sylar will die at all, because of, well, he is getting stunned from low ground to high ground here. Cooldown's going to get used as well. Yao's popping the BKB, he's low, and he crits here from Dendi. No crits just yet. Roshan is still bashing away, doing some work, and I do believe that LG says we'll give it up. We'll give up the Aegis
This
and
is
cheese.
not good for LGD.
Oh my god.
So we see the Aegis go on Funnick, and the cheese go on Dragon Knight.
Funnick's got 3 lives. He could die. Well, he has 1 life. He could die and come back alive. He could also die again. And
Oh, this is gonna be next level. He's gonna
time lapse.
He's gonna take a lot of damage. He's gonna pop his blade mail, and then he's gonna cheese and
Oh my
reflect
God.
even more damage.
Man, using your items, next level meta. That's from Merlini, guys.
Well, 1372 gold, so no buyback for Dragon Knight, and buyback status for everyone else. Shadow Fiend, yes. Magnus, yes. So
My question to you is,
oh wait, is it what did Sylar buy? He had a lot of gold, and now he does not. He had like 5,000.
full 10-second
oh,
BKB.
it's another BKB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, which does not leave him.
He doesn't have buyback right now, though,
Yep.
which is a very big problem. Buyback costs
No,
2,000 gold for him.
My concern for how the last team fight went for LGD at the bot lane is the 2-man RP went on Dendi and Havos, which is the
It
highest.
didn't even get Dendi.
I got the Dendi second time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The first time it got his illusions. The second time it got the actual hero. But they didn't kill either one. So if you're LGD, when you hit the 2 highest priority targets and you don't kill them with your full call down flak and all that stuff, are you concerned? Do you need
Yes,
to,
you're very concerned.
Are
You need a
no,
rapier.
so do you go rapier mode now?
I think they need to, especially him not having buyback right now. But again, if he gets caught in like a Dragon Tail stun, he can just very well die before he can BKB and Satanic. But again, what are you going to do about that like 600 damage going out to everybody besides Mass Ghost Scepters?
I think
Satanic
the only way that LGD could win fights right now if the RP lands on Chen, Lina, and Funnick, because those are the only people they can kill. Creeps are going on the high ground right now. Sylar reserving his flak, uses it right now. 2 illusions being spread out as well. Nets.
Gotta net that bounty hunter.
I really believe that Bounty Hunter, if he's gone for Cypher Vice, this game would be a lot different. Mantis still is not doing a single damn thing. These illusions are nice and
Spading troll nets, man. Come on, give him some
Alright.
credit.
Tactical pause.
So they say G, not a pause.
Okay.
Only 3 seconds.
Quick tactics.
Cast Lumi, cast.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought we were running another act. Sylar working, trying to defend this particular tower. Look at the tenuous positioning here from both teams.
Funnick has to be very scared about that blink skewer telekinesis that he died to last time. He won't be able to pop his BKB fast enough for the most
And they
part.
back off.
Wow. So I mean,
Aegis and
they have
cheese.
another 4 minutes, I think. Maybe they want to wait for a buyback on Dragon Knight. That may be the most prudent plan, and then you have to burn through 5 heroes, an Aegis, a cheese, and 3 buybacks on your carries. That is a lot of firepower.
Where's your money on right now? Seeing the state of the game, would
I think
Navi
Navi with the Aegis and the cheese. What about you?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, it depends on what gyrocopter picks up. If he plays defensive and Chinese carries generally plays very defensive, I think they lose this game. If he
Do
goes
we have a
divine,
side bet going on here?
what?
Side bet?
Side bet? I don't know. Are
No?
we betting wraps?
Well-
if he buys the divine, then my money is on LG China. I think if you go divine, it will surprise LGD, or if it will surprise.
What does
Navi.
he drop though for it?
Drop your mat?
Drop your phase boots?
No. We'll talk about that. Funnick's gonna get bursted down. He's fine. RP's gonna be used on Dendy. Scurry him back here. Siler's gonna focus on him. RP, second RP, my friend. Where's the second RP? He finds it on everybody, but there's no flag. And what are you doing, China?
So we saw the Aegis used from Funnick. We saw double RP used from Xiao 8. We saw the flat cannon used. Those are the big cooldowns. Now everything is down on the side of LGD. And meanwhile, Navi has Shadow Fiend. Relatively healthy. He just popped his Satanic, so he'll be able to life leech some life back. Actually, his Satanic is down. He popped it a few seconds ago, but he wasn't able to lifesteal anything.
Yao says we're not in our base. He's in his base. Sentinel is sieging the Dire right now. Yes, we are in your base. Kuroki says that as well. I cannot just cast this invite seriously. I did believe. How did Weaver get back in the fight? No, he had
Aegis.
Yeah, so Skirmishes is being used right now. I think they're going to push Dendy a little bit further back in. No, it won't, because BKB is active. I'm not really sure how they're going to win this team fight. If
I think Navi wins this team fight.
I think so as well.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Funnick is in front. Let's see who has buyback aside from the very important heroes. On Dire, we have Bounty Hunter with a yes. So the only heroes that don't have it are Havos, surprisingly, and the 3 support heroes, and no Rubik. Actually, I can't tell Rubik.
Here's the problem. The buyback from Bounty, it doesn't do anything.
Right. Buyback from Visage
Magnus
doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
buyback from Magnus, nothing.
The only thing that matters is Gyrocopter's buyback and his flat cannon cooldown, which 23 seconds, and
Yeah.
I
that nerf.
that nerf is actually a pretty big deal.
I know. So what do they do now? Like, who do you focus?
You focus
you're
on Denny.
at LGD.
You focus on Denny.
He has a lot of HP though. He has 1370 HP, and you have like 2 seconds left on your
I
BKB.
think they can focus on
Charges does Gyro have left?
what charges.
What cannon charges does he have?
0.
He's used it all.
Oh, use it.
Yeah.
Who's got Satanic on?
No one.
So
Oh wait, Gyrocopter can pop Satanic.
Gyro still
Navi-
has Satanic.
Or Dendy does not.
But that predicates on him actually right-clicking, and BKB is about to run out.
yeah, I think he's gonna get stunned.
I think he's about to
Stunned
get
by
shot in the
Havos.
face.
Oh, we see a G. Here it goes.
All right.
Blade Mail and Cheese still up on Dragon Knight. Maybe there's a clutch pass to Dendy, but he'd have to drop an item. We will see. Maybe clutch pass to Weaver.
All right,
Keep
here we
an
go.
eye
You
out on
gotta
that.
focus on Dendy. Dendy getting focused down to about quarter. He's yours is Satanic activating. He is gonna go down. Siler's pretty low. Yao's pretty low as well. Both getting focused by everybody. They're gonna right click him down. They lift him. This Rubik lifts hard. They are gonna get the kill as well. Buyback from Dendy.
Wow.
And
That was a great
LGD
hold.
is going to come back as well. No buyback necessary from LGD. They got the urn, and here comes a siege from LGD as well.
No buyback from Havost. Are they going to be? I mean, where was the cheese, bro? I guess he got telekinesis then. Well,
No, I think he landed. I think he might have forgot about the Le Fromage.
I guess he he would have died anyways. This is true. But they have 60 seconds to fight. No puppy buyback. No Lena buyback. They do have a glyph, and they do have Dendy and Funnick.
Meanwhile, we have about a gem parade in the base, but I don't know about this.
Mag with an AC.
Do you drone right now if you're LGD?
Throw what?
You do
Throne?
drone, or do you go for Rex?
I think you just go for Rex. They've been winning the team fights, right? The pressure's on Navi to
they
push out.
gave up Aegis and Cheese. I'm not sure how much they're winning about these team fights, and they didn't win the last one. in the bot lane.
LGD has.
But they're going for the Raxus. Here comes Funnick trying to do something. He's gonna break. Wow, he's that afraid.
that
I mean,
time-wise.
Siler does have a a Daedalus, so that's gonna be a range Rex as well as a melee.
They only have 1 Rex left, and they do have glyph up. 24 seconds on DK.
Okay.
Shadow Fiend has no buyback.
Let me phrase
That's a
the
really
question:
big deal.
Does Mega Creep mean anything in this game?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. BKB is gonna be used
Well,
by Funnick here. They're gonna be
maybe
chasing
not.
again. Sylar down to about 75% HP. Ooh, it's gonna be a blink skewer. They find Kurogi, has a Gold Scepter, lift. They bring him down as well. Yao's gonna be okay here, and they hold still. Flag from low ground to high ground here. Creep Equilibrium all slowly streaming in from the other lanes as well. Burst gets resummoned. I'm not sure how many times did that happen throughout the entire game. RP, 1-man RP, but it's gonna be the important one. They find Dendy. Dendy, no buyback here, and LGD claims a final life of Dendy as well. As Funnick comes back right now. Havos trying to 1-man army. Still has a cheese. Still has a blame out. He gets stunned. Where's the lift to follow up? There's the Hand of God coming in right now, but he's surrounded from all sides. Does use a cheese. but worse, the playmat finally activates it, but it's not enough. It's just simply too late here. GG well played gets called by Navi. And LGD China, they are going to the Alienware Cup Grand Finals.
Wow, 74-minute game, 33-15. Well played by LGD China. 5-man strategy does
Sometimes.
He
When
didn't
you land
even
your
hit
RPs.
great RPs. I mean, one on Denny, that was a key one at the end, but I think they took advantage of the buyback status way more than Navi did. And again, they had that window where Gyrocopter didn't have a buyback. They weren't even able to get a rats out of that.
Yep.
So well played by LGD. Looks like they... Good prediction, LD.
LD, okay, so before we hand it back to Bruno and LD, I really think Cypher Vice would have been the key item for both teams. If Kuroki spent his gold instead of on the shotgun, which was spectacular on that one play only, I think Cypher Vice being able to provide a initiation stun. They had Dragon Knight stun, and that's it. They need another one.
And they killed Havos like almost every time.
They need another one.
I personally didn't like the playstyle. I thought they should have split push a little bit more, get towers, and then maybe like a Shadow Blade pickup on any of the heroes. Sure, they have a Bounty Hunter, but again, if you just BKB TP,
it's the mobility in the team fight. It's all the utility you get, and not
right. They try to just 5-man against a Blink Magnus. That's just not going to happen. And 5-man versus 5-man, you can't engage with that sort of line with Shadow Fiend, Dragon Knight. I mean, the Gyrocopter just like mostly destroyed them, and then we saw what happened in late game. So again, split push a little bit more, take control of Roshan. They had 1 or 2 Roshans, I believe. I'm not exactly sure how many, but they. I don't know. You can't count that high.
Yeah. I don't even know what goes in the refresher. Also, I think Bounty Hunter went for the absolutely wrong item choices. Also, Cypher Vice for him, but that's
You're
it
really
for
big
us.
on these sites.
Cypher, we're good at late game.
It is very good.
But let's hand it back to LD and Bruno and see what they think.
Oh my God! Can I just say, first of all, before we dissect or discuss anything, that was an unbelievably entertaining game. A very unfortunate pause. I thought it was an entertaining game.
The end
75
was entertaining.
minutes, tons of buybacks, tons of the missed RPs, the moments where it felt like LGD was falling apart. They take racks, they almost fall apart again. Navi's knocking on their doorstep. They're trying to bust through. They almost do it.
There's a pause.
And then, well, the pause happened. But before that, Xiao8 had some masterful RPs. I mean, I felt like he played like 5 games in one. He had his very good laning stage, his pretty early success, then all the failures, and then he came back in a big way at the end.
That actually surprised me because I feel that some of the early fights, or well, not early fights, but before 40 minutes, if some of those RPs would have landed, it would have been a different story, much faster game for LGD China. They were in control at that moment, but that just let Navi get a little bit. And this comes again to, I mean, who am I to question LGD China when they won the game, right? But
Yeah.
it was like 45 minutes in. They have a bounty hunter. And they got
7
9
kills.
kills.
9 kills.
Yeah. So I'm like really confused because if you want to pick a bounty hunter, it means that you want to fight. And I think it's part because of Navi did a great job at just delaying all the fights. But also LGD China's passivity, which in the end worked out. But then again, in the last fight where the pause happened, just after the pause, Sylar gets a huge crit, which pretty much wins the team fight by itself.
Yeah.
I mean, that has nothing to do with the pause. It's just that he got lucky with the crit.
It was the pause.
No,
it wasn't the
it was
pause.
not the pause. But maybe just it's really hard to
Tactical
put
crit.
everything on the random number generator. But if that crit hadn't happened,
Might have been a different fight.
it might have been a different
Havost
fight.
was screwed, though. Havost got skewered all the way back
Yeah.
into the tier 4s. He was done for, even if he pops the cheese. It was a very unfortunate pause. Make no mistake about it, but we still had 70-plus minutes before that of fantastic Dota. For me, at least. I didn't care who won that game. I just wanted it to keep on going. Merlini, Lumi.
That's because you're not casting it.
Dude, I would have loved casting that
Fantastic
game.
Dota-
You're complaining about casting one of the best games that I've seen in a while.
That was not
Fantastic
the best
Dota
game I've
is a relative term. I rate this one pretty high because of how long and how epic it was. The pause in the middle was.
It wasn't like the most polished Dota, but that's
Yeah.
not the point. The point is, were you not entertained? Were you not entertained?
Non-polished
We
Dota.
want blood. I didn't get
You got blood
that
at
game.
the end.
Yeah.
You
You got a bloodbath at the end. Come on.
That was not a bloodbath.
At
Not
the
my-
end?
not my idea.
Would Bloodstock,
It wasn't
Bloodsticker
nosebleed.
approve?
Bloodsticker would
You
not
have
approve
some
of that.
disgusting nosebleeds, my friend. My God. Well, at least I thought it was a great way to cap off the winter bracket finals. Obviously, the pause was very unfortunate. I wouldn't say either team was at their best the whole way through. I guess it's gotten late there. It's been a long series for them, but These teams are very evenly matched. I think that's what I was most impressed about. I thought Navi would just run away with the series, especially after game 1. But
Yeah.
LGD China really did tighten the bolts, and they took back. They kind of pulled the game back when it seemed like maybe it was all lost for them just after that first game.
Not only that, also they have the advantage in the late game because they decided to ride for the Tricore. And how many times do we say, when the game gets late game, even though you have a gyrocopter, and gyrocopter is probably one of the hardest carry in the game in the terms that he can do so much AoE damage.
Right.
It's just a gyrocopter, and you have on the other side a Dragon Knight, you have Shadowfin, and you have Weaver, which the three of them do much more than say a Magnus and a Bounty Hunter in terms of what they bring to the fight. But masterfully execution by LGD China at some points in the game, not all the time, but
when it really counted, they did deliver.
So
I mean, this is the same. It was the same game where Xiao 8 airballed like 2 or 3 massive RPs. The one near where the tier 2 Radiant Tower stood mid. There was the other one near the Roshan
They
pit.
didn't know about that one missing, so
Navi didn't see that because he was on the high ground,
Right.
and they didn't have vision.
But that was like, what the hell? Also, you're railing
have a
on
fly
Xiao
going
8.
nuts.
yeah, fly.
You're railing on Xiao 8, and I think it's completely justified. I want to rail on Havos a bit. Because remember the bot lane picked off, that's Havos being Havos. The top lane where they got Sylar with a buyback for 90 seconds? Was that it?
That wasn't that one.
I
The
thought
one
the
where he
game
was
was-
up the hill on the TV.
Yeah, up the hill
He
and got
wasn't-
lifted?
No, he got killed. He got killed by Sylar.
When Magnus didn't have buyback.
Right, when Magnus didn't have that.
Okay, that would have been the game-changing push as there was.
There were a lot of game-changing points. The one mid where they had no Sylar too.
Weren't you guys actually shocked that LGD they didn't just lose when Sylar was dead for 90 seconds?
Yeah, and they
held.
got the push there, and yeah.
Xiao 8 saved them big time there. He had that blink skewer on, was it Havost or was it Funnick? I think it was
Funnick.
That bought them a lot of time. Navi, if they had all 5, I think they just would have ignored the creeps being dead and just kept on fighting. But instead they reined them in the aggression a little bit, and I mean that made the difference. That bought them like at least 30 seconds, which is easily 1 lane of Rax, if not more.
Right.
Yep.
But anyways, enough said for now. Navi will not be eliminated yet. We'll still see more Navi, potentially 2 more. That's the thing. Now I understand LD. You know,
More Navi.
Navi is such a good team that they say people like to watch us.
This is community service
if
for them.
we go straight into the finals, they just see 1 more game of us. If we lose, people get 2 more Navi games, and people like Navi.
Wow, we have our lower bracket now.
What a team.
Navi versus IG. It's a reversal of what happened at the International 2 now.
Right.
It's LGD who's waiting in the grand finals. It's Navi who get knocked down. The good news is, like you said, we might get an extra Navi game if they can deal with IG. And
we might not. Like, IG could just beat
last
them.
time, it should be said, they dealt with IG. Like, they took care of business there.
You know, and it's really appropriate for the color, but there was this cartoon that I watched when I was a kid. It was called Saint Seiya. It was like an anime.
Sensei?
Saint Seiya. It was about like...
That's so old school?
Yeah, it's really old. I'm old, sorry. The thing is that there were these people like knights that had this armor and they had superpowers and stuff. But the whole key of the story was that you could never use the same abilities against the same warrior.
You had to
twice.
keep on trying something.
Yeah, because like if we saw you the first time, like you will beat me the first time, but the next time I'll know all your tricks. And this feels kind of like Navi, right? They go against IG, they lose in the group stage. They go back, they win. Against LGD China, they do very... I mean, they don't do poorly, but they end up losing. Maybe Navi is channeling their inner Saint Seiya and saying, well, now I know your tricks. And if we fight again, we'll straight up dominate you.
Are you guys convinced by Sensei?
Nope.
Sensei logic?
I am convinced, and they're gonna go Space Cow.
That's just because you like. That's just because you like anime.
No,
Lumi.
I'm just saying they're gonna go Space Cow, and they're gonna win everything.
You just spent. He spent all of yesterday at Anime Con. So
I know.
He's on a kick right now.
I want to see Space Cow. That would be amazing.
Everyone
Cow.
wants to see Space
Did
Cow.
you know Space Cow is like one of the? I think he's one of the most picked heroes in
in
just
pubs.
in pubs over
But
the past
I
few
mean,
months.
people were saying like people were telling on Twitter, and that's just an OP hero in pubs. It's not an OP hero.
Space
in
Cow
pubs.
bombs, man.
Space Cow bombs with Lifestealer. It's a proven thing. Team Liquid has done it and has won with it. EG picked it last time.
Proven.
Go ahead,
Proven by
Navi.
American
Please.
teams.
I mean,
Please do.
it's really hard to
I wanna
catch
see
our
it.
stream in China probably, and Navi will have other things to do. But probably someone from Navi is watching, like a manager, the owner.
They're
high
probably
Alex.
all watching.
So-
I imagine that's what they do.
Yeah. So and then they're not watching the Russian stream. They're watching ours because we're funnier. But the thing is, just call the Clementinator. Say like just
The
interdimensional
Commentators.
Clementinator.
Jesus, that's a mouthful.
So call him. Just say, hey, interdimensional Space Cow. Period. Enough said. So Puppy will go to sleep. I'm like,
I actually do want to talk about this match a little more seriously, though,
Yeah.
since I think you've exhausted your space cow material for like the next week or so.
don't worry. There's always one.
IG is playing way differently than LGD. Like, they were very aggressive today, and I'm curious how you guys think they're going to match up against Navi, because we're going to see them again. They looked rejuvenated today. Do you think that IG is just going to or Navi's just going to walk away at the series like they did last time, or will it be a lot closer between these two teams? I'll start with you, Merlini.
Well, they started off 0-2 versus IG in the group stage, and they kind of owned them 2-0 in the one of the brackets. And I think it'll be a much closer series than before. Both teams having finally played against each other in this lane environment. I'm sure they're watching these games too, getting a feel for each other's play styles. I hope that every Eastern team knows to just straight up ban Wisp, because it's not really a contest if they don't.
LGD took 2 seconds to ban Wisp, 1 second in their game.
So all you do is ban Wisp, and then you have a game. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I think they figured that out that much. They've seen how they played versus LGD China and a lot of other teams, Tongfu, etc. And now that they kind of figured them out, I mean, Navi hasn't done anything like spectacularly unique, right? They picked Tree. They done like a little bit of aggressive stuff. They've done Dragonite in the carry lane, but most of these are like, fairly easy to deal with strategies. So they're not too far fetched from the normal. So I think
they need to show new tricks.
IG will be ready, and I predict IG.
Your rares are on IG.
I don't know. I'll have to see the odds. It always depends on the odds, man.
Okay.
I think it'll be 2-1 series either way. I haven't decided on winner. I'll decide once I place my rares.
Okay, so I got really mad the last time there was a IG Navi match.
Yeah.
I got like Asian Rage Boy mode, and I got so mad.
Super Saiyan mode?
Yeah, maybe not. But I'm gonna just go back and say, still gonna go with IG.
What are you going to do if they lose?
One last time.
How many rares are you going to bet on this? That's
No
the real
rares.
question.
I don't bet rares.
No faith.
That's not me.
No confidence.
There is a faith. He's the captain. But
You're going to like explode if they lose again 2-0.
But no, if Navi wins, I'm very happy for them, and I'm gonna cast them one more time in the grand final. So it's good, right? More Navi games.
More Navi is always more good or
Yes.
better, as you English people say. But
What's the difference?
it's more or less the same. You know what? I think that IG actually dominates the Chinese scene because they were the guys that were adapting more to the Western scene. They've run some kind of Westernized picks, which not necessarily
the tree, the OD.
the trio OD, which not necessarily means that it's better, but it's different, and teams have a hard time adapting to different. Guess which team doesn't have a hard time adapting to OD and tree? A team that has been playing in a scene that knows that hero and that combination very well.
But is there something else up their sleeve that maybe Navi hasn't seen? Because, I mean,
The
the OD
Space
is
Cow.
also kind of a Southeast Asian thing, too. We've seen a lot of Mushi play on the
Yeah.
OD. So, do they maybe have a Zenith strat? A Timbersaw?
Timbersaw.
Well, I mean,
Got him.
the thing is, possibly, I don't think so. I think IG is working with a couple of 3 or 4 main core strategies that work well for them. And I don't see how Navi can feel troubled, particularly by any of those strategies. That doesn't mean that IG can clearly outplay. Like if IG tomorrow, it's tomorrow, right? Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the loser bracket final.
So yeah, it's Navi IG.
Yeah.
So if tomorrow Navi IG wakes up and Ferrari is like feeling that his stars are aligned or whatever, they can clearly take that against Navi. But just straight up and the same skill level, assuming that Navi now goes to sleep and they get forget about this game. I don't think that IG can surprise Navi. And to be honest, I don't think that Navi can particularly surprise IG either, because they haven't been trying anything completely exotic.
Yeah, like we saw the Phantom Lancer. That's not really exotic. It's just sort of different. You know they love to run Wisp, so...
Well, I think that the Phantom Lancer was a key mistake of that matchup against...
Well, you actually didn't like the Beastmaster. That was the big one. That
No,
you
I said that both. The Beastmaster being very... allowing the Dragonite to get a lot.
Yeah.
And even trading farm, you said that. Trading farm Beastmaster versus the Dragonite will be happy.
Dragons beat beasts.
Yeah. So, and the Phantom Lancer was such a passive pick that didn't... Maybe they were expecting LGD China to just play, let's make this a farm race, in which case Phantom Lancer should win. But LGD China said, no, okay, well, you have that, we'll play more aggressive. And again, Navi doesn't want to do that.
So you think neither team can particularly surprise each other. You
But
think
I
Navi's
think
better
Navi
than
has
Tapping?
the edge. Yes.
Okay, so your prediction,
Navi should take these
2-0?
2-1.
Oh, sorry, it's best of 5, actually. So
Oh wow. 3-1.
3-1. Merlini?
3-1 IG.
IG.
We're going to 5 games. Game 5, Denny's gonna draft. Art Style's gonna play Crystal Maiden.
Yes.
And
Art
I-
style. Not even art style.
Oh,
Art
man,
style.
we're going back another year. And IG is gonna take it 3-2.
Wow.
I will reserve my prediction for tomorrow.
We want one now.
All
We
right.
want blood in LD's prediction.
Navi 3-2. Very
Wow.
close. Down to the wire.
Well, you were right today.
Yeah. I was the only one who believed in LG. Now, LGD, but LG, Jesus. It's been a long day for me as well, guys. But I think LGD did show a bit of resilience today. I was impressed that
Clutchness factor.
because they got crushed
10.
in game 1 and they came back.
Minus Shao
Clutchness.
8.
Well, he was clutch in the end, but
Yeah.
He hit
that's
one
why
man
that,
RP on
see,
Denby.
Merlini, that is the legend of Shao 8. He's director 8, meaning that he's written a script, and in order for it to be a dramatic script, he's got to throw or make mistakes or you
Or
know,
farm for 40 minutes.
or,
Yeah.
you know, miss an RP so that it heightens the tension. And then the climactic act is where he comes in and boom, RP to the face, RP to the face. Now we win. He even scripted the pause.
He had pretty good ones at the end.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he
He
scripted the pause.
did he
That was
script
on
that
point.
crit?
I don't know. Can you script that? I couldn't have scripted a better ending. I mean, except, well, we get an extra Navi game. So even if you're a Navi fan, you can be pleased about that. You might get to see one more series out of them. They're wrapping up their trip in China, but before they go, we'll have 2 more days of action. Tomorrow is going to be your lower bracket finals. It'll be Navi versus IG, a best of 5. You've got our predictions. All we can do is sleep it off and wait. The action is coming. The grand finals will be the following day. I'm LD. He's Bruno. Or Aegis. Not sure what we're calling him nowadays. BKB. BKB Bruno. And from all of us here at Beyond the Summit, thank you for tuning into the Alienware Cup. If you enjoyed the broadcast, be sure to follow and check them out on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook, twitter.com/AlienwareCup, YouTube.com/AlienwareCup, and AlienwareCup.com. We wish you a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for Navi versus IG, your lower bracket finals best of 5. Good night.
C3